Hello, welcome to Race Brain Podcast. My name is Rich Ryan, joined by Jack Bauer and Bracken Crocker. A whole lot to talk about today. We are going to kick it off with a little bit of Deka talk from last week. There was some rules amended, and we would like to talk about that pretty briefly because we have HYROX Last Chance Qualifier in Anaheim to talk about. We're going to draft, and then Spartan Big Bear, second stop at the National Series. We're going to draft that too. Jack, you fired up to draft all these? Jack will draft everything. What would you rather do, draft or bracket?
Oh, that's tough. Honestly, I think, I think bracket's more fun for the interactive part, but realistically, like, I was the champ last year. I love drafting. Let's keep it going.
Whatever. BK, what are we going to do to take this dude down?
Just let nature take its course. We've done 2 seasons plus 2 seasons of fantasy, and we've seen already that was a statistical outlier. That was an anomaly.
Outlier.
Yeah, the world will right itself very quickly.
Bracken, all that we've learned statistically is that you can't draft well unless Kirk's here.
I think I won last year.
No, you did. I won. You were dead last.
I closed.
You and Kirk,
AK,
Kirk and you. Sorry, I got to get the order correct for that. Ended up winning the first time, and I won last year.
It'd be you and Kirk. You and Kirk, or Kirk and I?
Well, I'm putting you last in the Kirk and Bracken combination is what I'm saying.
Grammatically, that just doubles down.
Not grammatically, in terms of hierarchy.
BK, I like how you roll where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to think that I won from every year from here on out and just live my life chest out, chin high, feeling good about myself.
The only way to go. And if you're losing an argument,
confident.
Get semantic. Go after grammar. Go after phonetics.
Take a win.
No losing.
A win's a win. A win is a win. All right, so let's kick it off talking about Dekafit. So just to recap, in the race that Jack Bauer took the last podium position, there was 2 disqualifications because of a dropped ram that constitutes as a no rep. And if you do not finish a workout station, you are then disqualified. We went through the rule book. We read the rule book. Can't say we didn't. We did that. Since then, there has been some changes. Both Mark and Jessica Villa, Mark Paulzine and Jessica Villa were both reinstated with a, how much was the penalty then? They get a 5-second penalty?
5 second. I think Mark ended up getting a 20-second one for missing a rep, and Jess matched Robert Killian's 5-second one because the standard was already set there.
I approve.
Wait, what? So they got different...
Mm-hmm. They did different things.
Mark was rep based. He did 19 of 20.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So
Mark had 19.
He got the per rep missed time penalty, which is now in the table that they have. And Jess, they were like, well, Killian dropped a ram before. We're going to apply the same exact penalty that happened there because there is a precedent.
Yep,
and that's how they went about the penalty.
Okay. It looks like Julie Best got a penalty as well.
Reason prevailed. That's fantastic. That's good on Deka.
So, BK, you're pro on this one. Jack, what's your thoughts?
On hers, for sure.
I think logic was used. The decisions were rushed, and the head honcho Yancey was not there, but he admitted that there were oversights beforehand, and I think that they did a very fair. Don't eliminate their time. They still put in the effort. They should be penalized, for an infraction that took place during the race, but an outright DQ. They realized was the wrong move, and retroactively giving a fair penalty based on the precedent beforehand, I think they did the right move.
So I'm definitely happy that Jess and Mark now have times back in. Jess's time is going to be pretty solid for her in terms of like where it's going to play out for the season. But I just think the decision to go against the rules that they had in place is trash. Like, I think they're just playing the result. And now this just opens up like their ability to now do the 10-minute trust-based like penalties again, because they are showing that they don't care about the rules that they have in place and they will change them on a whim. And now this is a result that we like. It's like, okay, great. But like, what's going to stop them from doing something that we don't like now?
Well, I was very negative last episode, and rightfully so. I'm going to be opposite.
Whenever you want.
This is good. I'm gonna take the opposite stance of you.
You're basically doing to Rich what you normally do to me. Whatever Rich says, you're just gonna take the opposite right now.
Good luck.
No, I actually feel this way.
Okay.
With you, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't because they did whatever they felt like. They took a look at the situation and said, the letter of the law is A, but it was applied in a way that was unjust and unfair, and there's precedent beforehand. And so we're going to do the reasonable thing rather than hold ourselves to a failing system. Now, that's a little dramatic, but how many times in our legal system do we see someone get off on a technicality or loophole and they're like, hey, we can't do anything about it, even though we know the right thing to do would be to lock them up, or vice versa? Well, they did the right thing here. Like, there is always a line for humanity involved in sport, and this was the right call. However, Rich isn't wrong that it may open up the door for the next person to be like, well, they got reinstated. What's your appeal process? I want mine reinstated. They did the right move, but their trouble's not done now.
Like, yes, like in the court of law, right? Like, then this does stand up because they made the mistake of giving Killian a 5-second penalty, probably just because he's Robert Killian. They're like, oh no, we can't disqualify this guy, 2-time world champion. Are you serious? But
His name is not Woods. We can't DQ him.
yeah, that guy's out. He can't even step foot into a Deka.
Yeah.
But in sport, like, is there precedent in sport? Which is always my issue with both this and HYROX. Like, okay, are we taking a legitimate sport angle? Like, we looked at this like the Sixers. This is the Daryl Morey thing where he'll like complain about the refs, right? And he'll file some sort of complaint with the league. Nothing comes of it. They're never like, oh, we looked back and we decided that
you guys won the game.
that you did call that timeout, Nick Nurse. And like, we see the screen and like, and to make it fair, we're going to give you, and we're going to play it out and we're going to flip it and we're going to give you the win or whatever. We'll call it a draw. We'll redo it. It just doesn't happen.
It does not in that sport, but it happens in other sports.
When?
Boxing or MMA, things can be overturned after the fact. The commission can look at it and turn a loss to a no contest, or a disqualification to a no contest, things like that. Basically saying, we can't give you the win, but we can take away the loss. You're not punished anymore. You kind of are, but you at least don't have your record permanently marred by a judging mistake up front. So it'll happen there. Drivers or other sports, you can be disqualified after the fact. You can be reinstated into results if they overrule it. There's appeal process in other sports. There's no appeal process in football or basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sometimes you have like I guess this is a different look at it, but a B sample coming back, your result may or may not get nullified. You might get bumped up in the medals. We just saw that recently with Elisa Montano. With her, I know that PEDs is a different offense. That should just be an outright DQ. Right. In this case, the only other one that I could think of just off the bat would be like if in baseball, if you have weather related thing and you don't play 5 innings, they just completely ignore that game, or sometimes they suspend it and come back and finish it. That's the only thing that I can really think of. Sometimes they'll erase what happened during that game because you didn't complete enough of it, but that's about all I could think of.
They also reduce suspensions upon appeal, even in the NBA.
Like, I guess so. My question,
not a 1-to-1 though, right?
With the MMA and with the driving examples, which I'm not less familiar with, like, are they changing rules, or are they going back and looking at it and be like, oh, this does fit within the rules that we already have set?
Well, I chose boxing or fighting because of that thing. Like, the rules are there, but the official on the mat is the law, and they can make a mistake. So if someone taps but doesn't tap, but the official thinks they do, like, they follow the law. You tapped, you're done, but you didn't actually tap. He missed, or someone was hit with an illegal strike. The official missed it, said, you've been knocked out, it's over. Upon review, it was an illegal strike. They can appeal that, and then they'll be like, listen, he followed the law, but he made a mistake, kind of thing. They're not changing the rules, though.
That's the thing.
After sometimes, I mean, they could say we're going to call it a no contest and make the rule change immediately after, which is what should happen here now. The rule book should be rewritten right now.
Yes. Which we will talk about. I think that they are going to do that because, yeah, that'd be the case. Like, it would be like the opposite, right? If he got DQ'd for punching in the back of the head or something, knock somebody out, be like, right, we've decided that punching in the back of the head is legal. So we're going to
Right.
call this a no contest, or we're going to give you the win.
That
Right.
doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen, and that's closer to this than in the other ones, because it's like, oh, okay, we had this rule, but we decided we don't like it.
Which I like.
I don't. It's crazy.
If
It's
you look at
craziness.
when all right, how long's baseball been around? Like 150 years. Football going on 100. Basketball well over 100. Hockey over 100. You think that their initial rule book is the same from day one that it is
But
right
they're
now?
not going to change it at game 40. Like, oh, 3-point line is now 30 feet.
They've had in-season changes, like in plenty. Not a 40-foot versus a 23.5-foot 3-point line or whatever. Like they've made changes. They're like, this happened the previous game starting next week. You can't do this in the NFL. Like they make changes mid-season like that.
Is that true?
I thought
what?
it's happened like several
Yeah.
times recently. I'll look it
Like
up. We'll keep
what?
talking. I'll find data. Go ahead.
Also, it just shows awareness. It's not like they changed a rule 40 games in. They made a rule and 2 games later realized the rule's not as it should be, and now they're adjusting it. So it's one of those, like, the few versus the many. Does it inconvenience a few for 2 races? Yes, but for the many, they're going to change it now before a whole season goes by and screws up all these things, and it's controversy the whole time. Like, the controversy is going to end a week from now if they change it now, versus it's a problem all year, and we keep going into these situations where people are penalized or DQ'd, which we, again, like we said last time, is not what we want. We want athletes on course.
For
So
sure.
I think they're taking a short-term hit for a long-term benefit, which is kind of the opposite of what we would see with Spartan, where they would just not really care. They would just make it on a whim. There's logic to this, and I can support that. I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
The spirit of it is bad, but it's the right move for the right reason.
Exactly. And again, I cannot like make this more clear. I'm happy that Jess and Mark were reinstated. That's good.
Yes.
It was the rule was stupid in the first place. It should have been a 5 or 10-second penalty written from the beginning. But I don't like that they're changing rules and they're doing that. And we're just playing the result right now. We're like, that's good. We like this. But when it's bad, we're going to be like, they shouldn't be able to change the rules. And that could happen. And now if we're going to do the precedent thing, they have that. They can just do it.
So
I think
so
what
I
we need
found
to
one
remember is Yancey. This is Yancey at his finest. Yancey has said, hey, look it. We can improve this. This is on me. I'm going to fix it. And in the future, I think we can trust Yancey to not do a bad rule change, to not say, I'm going to make this worse for you in the moment. Yancey's a man of the people, and he always will be. He's a
Yeah,
good
that's fair.
Samaritan. And so I trust that. It's different than a faceless commission making a ruling.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I did
What do you
find
got,
one.
Jack? What do you got?
2019 NFL season, if you're a quarterback, you throw, and then they rule it an incomplete pass. You throw in a challenge. This happened mid-season, right before the playoffs. You throw an incomplete pass, then they find out it was actually a fumble, and then you recover it. They allow you to recover the fumble instead of keeping it as an incomplete pass. That's kind of a big deal. That's a change of possession, and they approved that mid-season in 2019.
What? Say that again?
So you go and throw, kind of like the tuck rule, basically. Like that, it's ruled initially as an incomplete pass, but then upon review, they find out it's a fumble. They'll actually go with the fumble. I'd have to read
That sounds like
article.
review. Like,
I don't know. It says NFL January 4th, 2019. It took place during the middle of the 2019 season before the playoffs.
That's okay. That's okay. That like
it's
That's
not like
good.
moving so they'll wait until the start of the season to change their kickoff rules. Like,
Yes,
you saw
that's what I mean.
the changes that they're going to be doing this upcoming season without,
Right.
they're 10 yards apart from each other instead of running downfield. That's a wait till the next season starts. Would like the change, but we're going to hold off until
yes.
there's a hard reset. The one I'm talking about, you'd have to read all the details of it and stuff, but that's more of an in-season technicality rule.
Yes. I don't know. Fine. Whatever. Give you that one. Even though I think it's trash. I think it's trash.
Didn't baseball have something with like a lot of the pitchers using sticky substances and stuff, and like
they
what's
made
legal?
a ball change mid-season.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they went from the hard ball to the juice ball, or juice to hard, in the middle of the season.
They kind of changed
to get
the rules
offense up. Yeah.
in basketball this year but it was more like how it's not like the rules, but like the way it was officiated. like they started to allow a little bit more physicality, basically in like the last like 2 months. But that's not
Yeah,
really
they have
like
officiating shifts mid-season. They
You do,
make
but
points of
that's like-
emphasis mid-season.
it's not changing
how
the
often
rules though.
how often do you hear like, oh, this is playoff ball? Like they'll rule differently based on what time of season it is.
Yeah, but the
And I
rule
think
book
that's the
isn't different.
dumbest thing ever.
I know. Apply that. It's like
Thank
having
you,
a world
BK.
championship at elevation when the rest of your races aren't. You know, that's
Yeah.
Last 2 minutes of sport or overtime. Oh, you got to make them call now. The swallow your whistle. That's the dumbest thing ever.
Right.
yeah. Didn't I'm just thinking a couple other ones. I don't know the timing of it, but baseball they introduced the pitch clock, the bigger bases, you're not allowed to have
These are after
more
a
than
season.
2 players. That was at the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
like the shift rule.
Yeah. So I think that was all the beginning of last year.
Okay. Wasn't sure when it got introduced or not.
Anyway, congrats to Jess and Mark
Mhm.
because you shouldn't have been penalized the way that you were. But come on.
But thank you, Yancey. Thank you, Deka.
But
It's
come
a
on.
solid move.
Did you hear about
Stick with the rules that you have. Why do you even
did-
have a rule book?
did you hear about Deka Spain, Dekafit Spain and their controversy?
No.
Rick-
Jack, you sent that there were some times that didn't really make sense.
There were some times that did not make sense. Rich, who's your favorite name to pronounce? Start double T.
Tomas
Tomasz.
Taverdict.
There you go. Well, he was involved in a little bit of a controversy in
Oh, boy.
Spain. He ran like a 3150 or so Dekafit. He ended up doing all 20 Rams. Guy who crossed the line in first, they found out he did 17.
17.
They all had a talk, and the guy who did 17 was like, yeah, I guess I just didn't count. And they gave him time penalty, and Tomasz ended up getting first place, and they all worked it out together on the spot.
Did Alphonse do 0 burpees? What happened to him?
I don't know. He ran slower than normal, let's just say. But,
Sheesh.
yeah.
So that brings us to the next piece, right? And Jackie, I think you had a little bit to do with this, or was in on the conversation some. And real quick, Jess Cavilla is now 8th overall in Dekafit, which is great, even with that penalty. And
Her time could hold up.
her time could absolutely hold up, depending on how many people
Yeah.
they let in. And where's our guy? And then Mark's 16th.
Yeah.
So Mark's
He and I
generally
need to run faster if we're going to get in.
Yeah, but Mark's generally going to be on the bubble, but he's also in his 40s, so like he'll be fine age group wise.
Yeah.
Now is that
which
official?
was, yeah, because I remember like Mark got
Someone in my
dead and a
house.
few
No one's
other
supposed to be
people.
here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave my mic on just in
Okay.
case.
Great. We'll call the
Start
authorities.
my GPS watch in case it gets real.
We'll
Start
call
the
the
draft.
authorities.
Let's do the wheel of names real quick.
Oh, I got to pull that up. So,
You're talking about the
Okay.
table.
So the
basically?
table. So now Deka has released or amended their rule book where there is a table of penalties, kind of what we talked about at the end of the episode last week. Like, should there be specific penalties for specific infringements,
Infractions, yeah.
infractions. So I think did Matt post something like this?
I thought he did. He definitely
I
had
think I
it
saw
on Instagram as a text description. I don't know if he posted the table itself.
I'm gonna pull up Hybrid Fitness
Uh,
Media over here. Okay, BK's
HFM.
back. Whew,
So yeah,
sheesh.
he doesn't have the table itself on there.
He has it to text. I'm going to pull this up and share the screen.
Okay.
So this is on Hybrid Fitness Media. The thumbnail is penalties/DQ update. And now in the text of that, I guess there is the rulebook on Zendesk does say these different penalties.
Yep.
So there's different amounts of penalties for each zone. So if you miss a reverse lunge, you get 10 seconds. If you miss a box step over, you get 10 seconds per miss. A med ball sit-up's 10 seconds. A wall over is 20 seconds. A missed sled rep.
per missed rep, just
Per
to
missed rep,
stress.
per missed rep.
Yeah.
And a missed sled length is 90 seconds. And then a missed ramp burpee is 20.
So basically, I helped Yancey come up with the table design. It's not in this one, but I talked with Dave Claxton, talked with Kevin, Gregory. Yancey was talking with several people. He talked.
You asked us, and you're like, "What do you guys think?" And we were like,
ignored. Yeah.
It's like nothing.
Yeah. I
I'm
was
not
like,
here to help out.
here's a little draft.
We're here to
just here
critique only.
complain.
If I help, I'm going to open myself up to criticism, and I'm not doing that.
Exactly. You don't want any of that.
Nope.
But anyway, Yancey was very adamant that using 80% completion was the way to go, since some zones take longer than others, some have more reps than others. How can you say that 5 reps of a zone, missing 5 reps of a zone that you have 30 reps, but they're quicker, versus a zone that has 20 reps, but they're slower? It's not the same. So he was pretty adamant about the 80% completion, because if you miss 80% of it, you're trying to skirt the rules a lot.
But you missed 20%.
Yeah, you miss
math.
20%. You complete 80. If you don't complete 80% of it, you miss 20% of it. So that was kind of where he got it.
That's
and
a DQ then, or what is that? What are you
auto
saying?
DQ.
Auto DQ.
Auto,
Okay.
auto DQ. And that's explicitly listed at the intro of the time penalty section. It may even be on their website now. I'd imagine that the tables are on there. But yeah, that was kind of the thought process there. What do you guys think of the times? Is 10 seconds fair for lunges, for a missed rep? 10 seconds for box overs, sit-ups. Those are kind of the quicker ones. Ram burpees, we already discussed that Mark Paulzine got a 20-second one for missing it. And some people were like, oh, it should be a minute per missed rep. I feel like that's excessive. But when you think about it, it takes people 4 to 5 seconds to do one rep the correct way. So that's kind of like, a 4 or 5 to 1 penalty right there versus doing it the proper way. What do you guys think about those?
They feel correct to me. They're 3 to 4 times slower minimum than like a slow good rep, and they don't end your day. You can't possibly gain an advantage from any one of these, but they don't end your day. I think that's in the sweet spot for me.
Yeah, like that's the one thing that we want to make sure that that we're covering our bases on is there a way to game this to your advantage?
Yeah.
Right. And I was thinking about this between this and like HYROX, where there's some stations in HYROX where you're just like, I'm suffering so bad, or like Spartan, right? Like I would rather put down this sandbag on this double sandbag situation and just leave it and take whatever they give me versus finishing this, right?
Yeah.
Deka's not really like that, right? They're very fast, and there's really no point in this race where it would be worth just skipping for the sake of like completing the race.
Nothing's going to end you. It's just really uncomfortable. It's not like you could prevent cramps or passing out or just failure by taking a penalty. So
it's
I like
it. If you intentionally do 19 ram burpees, your time is what it is, but then they add 20 seconds. Is that 20 seconds saving it actually good? Because it's going to take way longer than doing one the right way.
Right.
Okay, there's the table. Yeah.
Let's see this. What's the air bike one? Okay, so if you get
zoom in a little bit.
No.
Okay.
Look at
that. Yeah. So basically, since it goes down to the 10th of a calorie on the display, if you are between 24.0 and 24.9, you get a 20-second penalty, and then 2 minutes if you just don't even reach 24. So that right there, you just cost yourself a race right there. If you're
at 20 cals and you're like, I can't. This is the only place where I could see people being like, cool, I'll take the 2 minutes.
You might take it, but it's not going to help you.
No, because you've already done 20.
Like, no, it's definitely not going to help you. Like,
yeah.
if you take the penalty on any of these, you're going to put yourself out of competitive like positioning.
Yeah.
Right? I can see people in the everybody's like, nah, we're good.
And honestly, that
Only
last
one.
calorie might take some people 20 seconds, like if you burn out real hard,
really,
but but at that point, it's like you're already gassed. You're not going to come off that thing suddenly fresher in 20 seconds. I don't know.
The only way I can possibly think of this is that if you left lunges or jump overs 1 rep early in order to get a jump on someone and take control of the race. If you could then control from the front. Now you'd have to then break them. I'm really stretching, right? I'm really reaching to try to find something.
No, definitely.
If it was the difference between I can't get around someone and now I can cut them off coming out of the zone and then control, That's the only way I could see it possibly ever working to someone's advantage. But then that's a gamble that you would then be able to like pull them out of their rhythm or something. And even
Yeah.
no one's going to do that.
I would be okay if 1, 3, and 4 were all 20 seconds. You
Like
know,
15, yeah.
but just like there's mistakes then too. That might be
Yeah.
like 20 seconds for just like miscounting
Whoops.
on something that would only take you 3 seconds to have done. Then that's probably a bit much.
Yeah. Like what's the 20 step overs? That's like 40 seconds less than that. So that's about 2 seconds a rep. So
Right.
it's a
Yeah,
5
that's
to 1
true.
penalty.
It's a lot.
Lunges, 45 seconds if you're me, 1.5 seconds. So yeah, more than 5 to 1 for the penalty. I feel like you could try to gamify it, but it's just going to cost you.
I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the rower and the ski erg having 499 and 495 to 499 meters on the display. Some people, they'll just try cheating the system. They're just like unstrap and they're ready to go. And it's okay to do that. Just keep your butt on the seat until it says 500. But this is for the people who
little tiny pulls.
Their last pull's on like 483 and they just hope that it coasts there, but then they leave thinking it's going to hit 500. It's like, hey, should have stayed there. Here's 20 seconds that you just cost yourself. And I feel like that just keeps people a little more honest.
Yeah. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I
think he came up with some pretty fair penalties. I think Yancey did.
Until we change the rules again and just those by the wayside, they won't matter. It'll be the Bauer system all over again.
Whoa.
What's the gap? Where's the hole that we could pick in it? What would they have to change?
For here, I don't know. Nothing. I like this. I think this is fine. But
Okay.
until
So
someone's
what's
like,
left then in the rule book?
someone's like, hey, this is what rule book? Who cares? Who cares about the rule book? Can change tomorrow.
Such a hater.
I'm just saying. All I'm doing is saying, if it was a position that we didn't like, we'd be slamming them, crushing them. 10-minute truss.
It
could happen.
Climbing the incline or something like that.
If Yancey was there that day or the next day, he would have revoked that.
But it's in the rules. That's another thing too. If I was Nelson, I'd be pissed because he made the call based on what the rules said. He was left in charge, and then come in and be like, "Nah, you screwed up." It's like, no, I did what the rules said.
I mean, that wasn't the
right.
verbiage, right? No one said Nelson did anything wrong.
Well, they went back and retroactively changed his decision, so they must have thought something was wrong.
The rules, not him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if they would have changed it, I would be upset. I'm upset. I'm already upset. I ain't even Nelson.
Are you less upset but still upset?
I'm really not that upset. I just think it's silly.
Yeah.
Was the greater good
your reps.
served? Is Jess being back in worth it all?
I've said this 3 times now.
Was it worth it? Which one's which one's worse?
I don't know. We'll
not
see.
Being in or the rules being changed? What's
We'll
worse?
see. Now the door is open that they can keep changing the rules. They can change it in ways that we don't like, and then we'll go back and we'll blame Killian.
Kirk doesn't like Jess as a human being, and we support her. I said Kirk.
Kirk does it. I know he does.
Kirk?
Man,
I was like,
he needs to
what?
get a grip. What a dick.
Oh man, I'm confusing my co-hosts.
Don't do it. Yeah, Kirk, get it together, bruh.
Yeah. Blonde Jess's Kirk.
Anything else we need to talk about when it comes to Deka?
Do we have any info on what happened to Alphonse?
It
Is
might
that a
have just been a
penalty? Did he
fitness
have to
thing.
run an extra lap?
Do we check our do we check
Did he have to run
IG?
2 extra laps?
I didn't see a penalty there.
What
Sometimes you just-
occurred here?
Okay, so here's my thought.
What was this, Valencia?
It was a trifecta weekend, so he could have, in theory, run multiple distances beforehand. They had team for every one of them. He could have been fried at that.
Could have been, but then he came back.
Yeah, because you're right. He had like a 2.5 minute run sled. Yeah,
244, 252, or vice versa, and then got back on it a little bit, like a minute better. Not a minute better, but yeah, maybe a minute better.
I'm really not sure, but
My guy has his place in the looks like every race that he's ever run up in his IG profile.
Now that's a blow up we've never seen before, and then a recovery we've never seen before. So did he do the thing? Did he get out and just say, "I'm walking for a minute"?
I mean, that's something I would admire.
Greater good.
That's something that I wish I could come through with.
Did the thing.
He's the
You
man.
guys don't have a chat going?
He doesn't speak English almost at all, I don't think.
I feel like you guys would know each other better by now.
We could communicate without really even
You just
talking.
know.
Yeah, that's my
You're like,
fucking
hola.
guy. That's my
It's your boy
dude.
Rich.
Because what's that
alright.
running pace? Was that a 244 or 252 run
I mean, regardless, that's
for 500?
like a
9:30.
9+ minute mile for a guy who's typically running sub 6 for HYROX. That's fading.
That's awesome. Where was that? I wasn't paying attention.
That's slower than float recovery.
Oh yeah. Where was that? Was that after the bike?
Ski erg was when he really fell apart.
That's when you would do it. That's
Did
where
you
it
see
makes
a ski
sense.
time too?
What was his time?
I think
30.
the two numbers were 244 and 252. I
I've
don't
got it right
remember
now.
which was which.
Yeah. So we've got Dekafit, individual. Yeah, Tomasz. Okay, so they gave Pau Nascenta three times 20-second penalty for missing his burpees at the end. Now he's in second place with the 32.50 instead of a 31.50.
He's
So,
good, right? Is he an OCR guy?
he's got 15, 20 podiums in Spain, definitely.
Sunday sprints?
No, good. He had like top 10 at the European champs. He's solid. But yeah, Bracken, 252 run time. He had to have missed a lap before that was the run before the ski, and then his ski itself was 57 seconds. Okay, no, that there's something wrong with that. No, his ski, sorry, 244. So 244 ski and then a 252 run, and then the rest of his splits just look normal. That's
Maybe he went out in world record pace. Maybe he just went out and tried.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to take
don't
one
know.
station to regen, and then we're back on it. But I mean, skiing a 244 would almost be difficult.
That's like when you watch Bubbles do his. Or he just was like,
And he just does like the straight arm.
Just
It was like he was,
he's actually skiing, alternating arms.
and he's good at sports. So I just wish we had either footage or found out what happened.
Maybe he did the old lay down recovery.
He did that one double style.
Maybe he did the 500, laid on the ground
Pull
within
the
the zone.
Bracken.
Wait, because his run after the ski was
They're
bad.
both long.
Okay, so maybe. Oh, then that doesn't make any sense.
Or
No,
did he
his
run
ski,
into it?
his ski itself was 244, and then his run after was a 252, and then all the rest of the runs look normal,
There
and
goes
all the rest of the zones
my
look
theory's
normal.
out.
Yeah.
Maybe he laid down before and then still just I don't know.
So missing a lap makes sense until you realize, or adding an extra lap until you realize the ski doesn't include any transition time. Like they're both. I don't. Do you go to the bathroom during both?
I mean, we've seen it during both of them.
Yeah. Didn't get it all out.
Maybe.
Just on the skier, he's just whipping it out.
Maybe.
I don't have time for a full poop. I'm going to do half here, half on the run.
Could very well. All right.
Speaking of that, Bracken, I heard that you are going to be running Chicago HYROX. Oh wait, Miami's where it happened. Never mind. Messed up that transition. The poop story.
Did you sign up for Chicago, BK?
Yeah, I put the receipt in the group chat.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just letting you. I was just saying it. So
Yeah, I signed up. I got on there
Yeah.
pre-reg, and as
Yeah.
soon as it opened up, I got there and I signed up.
How'd you get yours? Because mine just says like your pre-registration is complete, and I haven't got the email yet allowing me to register.
Yeah, I think they just ranked people.
Oh,
Probably.
they're keeping me out. Yeah.
They asked how you seed yourself. I said 49, so I think I got the first.
Okay. Makes sense.
Assumed it was you're seeding off your station time, Cume.
Number
That's
of
big,
naps.
that's
seeded
big
it off of
news. We're transitioning into HYROX chatter. First, I want you guys to help me with something. My homie, the GOAT, Pelayo, Menendez, Fernandez, myself, we are hitting pro doubles out in Anaheim. And I want you guys to look at the splits and tell it. And
Why he and Kent are both listed? Why
for what?
And Vivian.
for pro?
Pelayo is?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kent's running. Kent's gonna run a later heat.
I
you're
heard
allowed to
Hunter's
do a
running
later heat.
also.
Gotcha.
I didn't see it. Was Hunter's name in the thing?
He's not on it, but
I heard that too, but
people are talking.
Getting a lot of messages.
A lot of
a
messages.
lot of people are
messages, yeah.
talking.
People were talking about comedy hour. That's for sure.
Bracken with the line, probably not just the line of the year, probably the best line in the entire time we've had race brand last week.
Rich was just there with every setup. That's great.
You just dunked it home.
Hand feeding you.
Throwing you some lobs.
And we were wrong. It is healthy to spray water in your ears.
Maybe not with a water pick. But
water pick.
What did we receive? Was that John Howard?
John Howard, Mr. Doctor himself.
So, yeah, sometimes I think about like our listeners who are doctors and respectable people, and we're sitting here talking about Jack's butthole.
No, we're talking about Bracken was talking about his own.
No, just like the shared butthole of humanity.
Okay. That's where you want to go with this, yeah.
I want to go to yours.
Right. So here, we're not going for we're not going there to race the fastest we could possibly run. It's not a world record attempt. But if we set a world record,
official record watch is on.
I'm gonna make a post and be like, going for a world record. And then I'm gonna be like, if we don't set the world record, I'm gonna pay XYZ. Whoever beats our time wins $1,000. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And I'm gonna be putting asterisk world best on every comment.
So I've got to give Rich a little credit right here, being humble. I'm looking at his bio on Instagram. There are no records, no world championships, anything on there.
You check out Alphonse's?
He's got world record ×1.
He's got a bunch of stuff on there.
Oh, he's got a bunch?
What's his world record?
We'll find out. Alphonse.
No, we won't
okay,
find
yeah.
out.
World record ×1, Deka Elite. He's just got his number of first places and stuff, but he does have world record ×1.
It's like
he might have the world record of European Deka.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that you can't argue
world record of European.
It's the fastest European time ever run in the world.
I think that's true. Can't say that's
good
not
way
true.
to phrase it.
All right, so I'm going to pull up our splits. We are going to draft, but I want you guys' help here. Not a record watch, but I was just looking at this and wanted to get your guys.
But if you set a record, you set a record.
But hey, we're going to run as fast as we can, and that's in play. So, all right, can you guys see this back to back? Like there's two different splits.
Oh yeah.
This is Sandy and Hunter on the left, and this is me and Pelayo at open.
So the faster team's on the right? The better team.
In the open category, yes.
Okay.
Objectively. But in pro, I'm just trying to wrap my head around like what we're looking at. Like first off, their ski the first run was about the same. And let's look at the rock zone real quick. Our rock zone was 151. Theirs was 318, which would lead me to believe that their runs were shorter. Correct?
Usually it adds up to 8.7 kilometers, right? Combined.
That's how it should be. If your rock zone's long, your runs are going
I would
to
agree.
Be shorter.
You'd think if their time was similar to yours that they did better on the stations and were slower on the runs, in theory.
Just saying in general, like their runs are going to be.
Yep.
So they skied 313.
It's disgusting.
With transition. So what are we looking at?
They're
130
130, 132 the whole time.
We're not going to do that.
Nasty.
We're not going to do that. But then right away in the second run, so we're assuming their run was slower, or their run was shorter than ours. Right?
Roughly, yeah.
It should be. Not by a lot, because
I would say if you're gonna give them a 151 for their rock zone, you're gonna have to take away 8 to 10 seconds from their rock zone and then add it to each run to make it equivalent, roughly.
Right. So what would that?
So basically, their 330 is really like a 338 or something.
You would say 8 seconds per. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Because you've got like a minute 20 or so divided by 8 stations. That's right there, about 8-10 seconds.
So we would take that all the way back in one run. Sled push, we didn't have ours, and these are where it's really not going to line up very well.
Did you even do the sled push?
We just skipped it. We said this is stupid. But it was slippery that day. It was old equipment. Our runs again a little bit faster. Sled pull. They're going to be faster on the push and pull.
Yeah.
Burpee broad jumps, they were actually faster than us, by quite a bit, by 11 seconds.
Is that the place to make the move?
That's where it really sucks. Were you guys hurting at burpee broad jumps?
Weren't feeling good.
I wasn't feeling good.
That's BK station. What'd you guys do?
we did
5s?
4 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I finished too long at the end,
Yep.
and I came off feeling
Winded.
it.
Yeah.
Mm. So
What was our time compared to yours?
Like 7 minutes slower or something.
No, just on the burpee broad jumps.
Oh.
Oh, let's pull yours up. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Let's
And
get
then
all
what was
these.
Rich and I? Rich and I cranked.
Yeah.
We're gonna get all the splits up here.
Chicago.
We're
Going back in time.
We'll go way
Pitbull.
back. HYROX doubles, men. Oh my goodness!
Whoa, you robot.
Hit me with a captcha
Oh, got to do it again.
again. No, I'm in the wrong spot. We gotta talk about something else.
Yeah, this isn't even worth it. Doesn't matter.
This is absolutely not worth it. All right, Bracken, let's do a guess. I'm going to guess we were a minute and 47.
Wait, am I still doing this? I bailed.
Do you want me to just pull it up
Not
on my
worth it.
phone and then you
Not
can
worth it.
Yeah,
You pull it up
Yeah.
on yours.
get it out of there. I'll chime in when I have the number.
Well, they gave back their ski on the very next run.
The very next run. Very next
So
run.
suddenly not worth it.
There's no we're gonna ski like same thing. We're gonna do what we did. We were like maybe around. We were like 140 low. We weren't even that
Did
crazy.
you do 250s or 200s?
250s.
Oh, 125 is the way to go after doing that with Glenn for Deka.
You did
Huge difference.
125s.
Oh, you have thousands. Never mind. Okay, 250s. You're right.
You could still do 125s.
You could and just hammer.
I felt so good coming off that. Like, realistically, it's only 20 seconds rest, 20
Maybe we,
on,
do,
20
maybe we could
off.
do
but
250, 250, then 150,
125, yeah.
125.
Try that. See how you're feeling. Bracken, I said 147 or 8
Mhm.
today. It was 148. So
Okay.
for burpees.
Yeah.
What did Rich and I do?
I gotta
what
go
year?
Way back.
Yeah.
What year was that?
22,
Year
23.
prior.
Chicago also.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't stray.
Top spot.
All right. That number 1. Okay, I had to scroll all the way down to 2 for Bracken and me because some guy was slow on the runs. All right.
Don't get it confused.
Not just the runs.
124.
Oh, we
Cooking.
cooked that, dude.
Oh,
We smoked that.
sizzling.
That's. Oh, you guys had the straightaway too, though, right?
Yeah.
We were weaving. Jack and
We
I
were
had a straight shot.
We
Yeah.
were definitely weaving. We had a couple of sideways diagonal jumps.
Yeah, I was getting up and walking a little bit. It was sweet.
That's the move, man. That's walking lunges. Just walk them. Push and pull. I figure we'll be 140 maybe.
Yeah.
And like not stressing that bad. I have no idea what the pull would be.
I mean, you got guys going 156 in pro.
Exactly.
So
Right.
yeah,
Like I was 215 last pro. So
you
it's
can
like,
chill at 150.
and that'd feel great. And then just
So
hammer that
these are
run.
going to have the center sleds for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's just what the
Yeah.
American.
From now on, that's what we got.
That's what
Yep.
the kit
Yep.
is. So burpee, like the row, they took a bit of time too, which is still pretty fast because we were 140.
No, I remember. Oh, you guys were. I remember Hunter getting on a podcast after that, and he was like, "I knew Sandy really wanted this record once he started pulling like 126 on the row right away, right out of
Mhm.
the gate." So they went after it on the row.
Look how
Sandy
much different the run
cranked.
is, though. Like they killed themselves
know.
on this on the ergs.
Yeah, but
Like,
is
this
it worth it?
Exactly.
No.
Like this is
They
a
faded.
This could be a 340, and we ran 326. Yeah,
And
they
then
faded
farmers
on this.
carry where they should have an advantage. They didn't.
This is heavier weight. This is pro weight.
Oh,
Yeah, whatever. Sometimes I'm wrong.
But look, but the run after farmers, like they're like kind of dying.
yeah.
I think
Oh,
they
for
went
sure.
out. I think they went out too hard.
I mean, what was your drop? You guys gained 2 seconds. They lost 8 right there. So there's a 10-second swing.
With their shorter runs.
Yes. Like
I'm just interested, like how much time is the pro weight going to add to ours? Like, I don't know, farmers, what do you like at most
10 seconds.
8 seconds? Yeah.
Yeah.
Lunges,
Are
might
you guys
just
going to
switch
trade off
more.
on farmers?
100.
Lunges? You might just switch
Or
more and not
50-50,
be
right?
much slower.
And not even that much more, right? Like I could still do like 25 fast with
Yeah.
a 66, and that's what we did here. Wall balls will probably be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. This looks doable.
I think it's doable.
Doable.
Plus, I don't know. Who's faster, the horse that like loves his rider or the horse who's afraid of his rider?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out.
In terms of horses. But yeah. So we got the. So thanks for hearing me. Not a world record attempt, but
If you do, you do.
we're gonna be right around that. I'm just curious to see what how much time it's gonna add. To be fair to Hunter and Sandy, they did have the old kit, the old equipment kit.
Mm-hmm.
We will have them fresh center
Little-
sleds.
Little asterisk.
We got those slick ropes though. Slick ropes.
You gloving?
I'm gonna glove.
You guys are team glove.
team gloves. Better believe that we're gonna do it. So let's, before we get into our draft for last chance qualifier in Anaheim, let's talk about Doha real quick. I think I've mentioned this before. The one European broadcaster. There was a Doha meet in Diamond League meet. Did you guys catch that one? I'm locked in with my Peacock subscription.
My life is over.
That was
Carton.
Kenny
Carton.
ran like a 19.6 or something like that, right? In the two.
Yeah, that was actually amazing. Kung Fu
Yeah.
Kenny's him. There's a Diamond League in LA this weekend. I was like, oh shit,
it-
I'm gonna be out
This
there
weekend.
this
Mhm.
weekend.
Stacked.
Yeah, probably a lot of
Is it
Americans.
like it's Diamond League, not like a lower circuit?
I think it's Diamond League.
Wow.
I saw Michael
Okay.
Norman's name on the list. I mean, I see
Okay.
him back
He
there
ran a
in
USC, I
Sydney
think.
too.
That's cool.
So in Doha, but anyway, the British, they say Doha.
Dora.
Throw an ER up in there somehow.
All right. We have some
No.
British listeners, and I love the way you speak, but aluminium, I have an issue with. They
That's how they
add an
say it?
extra I.
Aluminium.
It's
Aluminium.
aluminum.
Aluminum, but they do aluminium, but they say aluminium, but they add an extra I.
Most elements have ium in it, like helium,
Hey,
strong.
BK,
Like
are you listening to like chemistry podcasts and UK based
no, Bracken's correct.
chemists?
That's like one of the
when has
words.
he heard this word being
That's
said?
like one of the stereotypes of like, oh, here's what British people say that's wrong
Yeah.
if you pronounce it correctly in America, like we do, because we know English.
I listen to all sorts of stuff, Rich.
I'm just saying. I didn't know you were such like a chemist.
They'll talk about it on bike frames or components. They'll talk
I
about
see.
it on karting videos, aluminium.
Karting. Now I got to look through everything from a karting lens when I speak to you now,
Yeah.
so I
I'm
can
just a
understand where your
gearhead
reference
now.
point. You seriously are. All right, in Doha, Jack, you got something?
Don't let me forget your analogy. I just want to give you a quick shout out. If you let me do this first. All right.
Nice.
Okay. So Bracken, you're normally the king of analogies. You hear it all the time on here.
Gearhead.
No,
Cars.
no. I think Rich just had possibly the best analogy I've heard. Your bread analogy on
Like that?
RMR this past week. I was like, that just clicked. Bracken, go listen to that. Fantastic. You
I won't.
explained it just perfectly.
listen
I
to it.
understand why you like baking more than you like cooking now.
Thank you. Baking's where it's at.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Endurance athletes are bakers.
Yeah.
Think of that.
Rich and I will never listen to each other's stuff.
Never.
We're,
No,
we're
you
not
have to
going to
li-
give each other the power.
Just that one. It was really good. And I was
I tune
mentioning
in
this.
from time to time.
We
You
should
know.
send each other links and like press it at the same time, so we listen
Send it
and
to
we're
Matt
like,
also,
and
just
we're
so he
even.
knows to listen to it.
Yeah.
But
Thank you,
anyway, I was
Jack.
mentioning that because this ties into your RMR co-host.
Yes. So let's do the women first. So in Doha, Meg Jacoby took that win on the women's side with a really strong time, 59:28. Tara Jackson with a big PR, I think, 63:33, taking second, and Jess Toll, not Towel, Toll was 64:13. Some other notable names are the homie Matt Davis pulled out Sola Sigurdardar. Sigurdardar? I don't know. She is a pretty high
Nailed
level
it.
CrossFitter. She finished in 114.42. She was ninth place overall. And then I think that's really the most notable names that we've seen out here. But some good times. But Meg running 59:28 is really solid.
Good sign.
Really solid.
Good times, even better money.
Seven stacks for this win.
7,000, 5,000, 3,000
Better
US
than
dollars.
better than a major.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
And Meg has time here, meat on the bone. She had her wall ball zone got screwed up. She got sent to a couple different places. Like her time was 3:39, where usually it's 3:13.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Uh,
she could have been potential world record at that point.
she's definitely on PR pace for
Close.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Just with that rate alone, she was already 58s, 50s, and that's her PR is 58.50, I think. And her lunges and like her last couple runs were a little bit slower than they were. So she has some, so she's not at like peak shape right now. So, but she's in a good spot.
What's
4
the
weeks
fastest
out.
non-grid female time ever?
Non-grid, it was Meg's time in Anaheim last year. It was like 58,
Okay.
52 or 53 or something like that.
Yeah, she's cooking.
I think Lauren was like 59 low in Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai.
I'm going to preface this with someone's going to hear this as a slight to Meg, and it is not. So just take it at face value. Don't read into this. She is such a good front runner.
Yeah.
It is not always an easy thing to lead races. She can put all her energy facing forward and just lock in as well as anyone I've seen.
She gets that momentum and she can run hard.
Confidence.
She can run hard, and she's motivated that way. I mean, that's what makes her such a good athlete. She's like this in training too. Like she will push herself very hard all by herself, and she has that like mental like kind of edge all the time that she can really push herself. So like being alone does not bother her.
Yeah.
She's got to be feeling real good being only a month away from Worlds after throwing down a sub 60 like this on her own.
For sure. On to the dudes. Sadiq El Fatouri out of Great Britain was 57.38. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty.
Apparently, he used to play for Manchester United. That was what Matt was saying on his podcast.
Is that verified, or is that just something Matt?
That's
Matt's
a
like,
Matt
he's a
fact.
he's a pro footballer, so the one football team he knows, he just like said.
Probably that. Yeah.
There's no way to corroborate this.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
If
the
he
same
played,
as claiming you're a world champion without the caveats.
Yeah, that would be something.
A cursory Google search will tell us.
This would be the easiest Google search ever, and I think I can accomplish this.
Yeah.
That 57 though that is elite.
That's really good. He was,
yeah.
I think, 5th at the last chance qualifier in Cologne with that sled pull penalty. Like he got hit with the nasty penalty there. Muhammad Ali Rabet. What's MR, Jack? MRA. Rabet? Are we saying the M here?
Marbet?
Rabet?
Yeah, you gotta say the M.
Gotta say the M?
Yeah.
He was 60.09. I think he has been right around there.
He's been right around an hour. Yeah.
Right around an hour. And then Adam Corlett, also of Great Britain, was 60.58. We had our guy Michael Sandbach in this race. Got out a little bit too hot, and he went after it, but did not complete the race. Did not finish.
Went after it.
He just went at BK. What were his first 2 splits?
Teen.
In the run, right?
Yeah, he skied what was it? 330 something?
Fast for a race.
Something like that. 330, 340, and then
including transition times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not as locked in on this result as that Deka, those splits, because I was gobbling up those Deka splits, but he was cruising.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But yeah, he was rolling. He's testing out his limits, and he's finding them, which is something you said, right? Like you got to give him credit for really going after it and seeing where he's at.
No, I think there's a limit to it. I don't know if I gave credit for that one.
I mean,
it's a strategy we've seen work before, but this was taken to a new level. I don't know if you learn anything off that pacing. Do you?
For a little bit, that's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. Like, and
when did he drop?
After push. And maybe he did the run. I don't think he made it to Rocks.
So what's that total race time? Like 9 minutes?
11 minutes.
minutes.
11?
Oh, yeah.
Like you can't cramp in 11 minutes.
I mean, if you push that hard, just
no one cramps during a 5K. They're hard. They're working like
for in a 2
cramping's
mile.
an endurance thing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean,
But he
which
was cooking. We'll give
he
him
was
that.
cooking. Wish him the best. But he should be fine. You know, it's not if it's just cramps, not an injury. He's just going out a little bit too hard. So he has that high end. He's got some high end. We don't know what the backbone of it is though. But
If there's
he'll be
ever
interesting.
anyone to have something like this happen and for us to not really think it matters at all, it's him. Right? He can withstand these blips on his radar because that his radar is just like wins and blips. So
Mhm.
it's just like, well, sure, yeah, he went. We don't know exactly what he's thinking, but it's Sandy. I bet it'll work out fine.
I believe this is his 5th race of the year. And he's crossed the finish line twice. It's pretty consistent in terms of like the outcome that he has
Boom or
on these
bust.
races. Yeah, boom,
It's got a
boom,
process.
boom or bust. Yeah, so he'll be at Worlds. He's qualified for Worlds, and I mean, I'm sure he's fine, right? Like he's not hurt from this. But yeah, interesting strat. We'll see if he tries to pull that strategy at. If he does this and goes out this hard, you would imagine he'd be in the front. Even Hunter
Yeah.
would be pressing to stay up with this.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, do you go with him?
That's a relay split right there, what he's doing.
He's gonna be nasty on this
Yeah,
England
serious.
relay. He's gonna be real nasty. He
Well,
might be
and
the
I
best
wonder
relay
if
guy in the
this-
game.
Wonder if this isn't a targeted Hunter strategy. He felt Hunter during doubles. He got to feel Hunter late in the race fatigued, which not a lot of people get to feel. And he might have seen something that made him think, all right, I've seen him like sound human and act human next to me. And I handled it. We know what he likes to do. I know what I like to do. I wonder if I can press him. And this was just a tune-up for that.
See where
Like,
it's at. Yeah.
Has anyone else seen Hunter that deep into a race in the last few years? He may have just felt something that he thinks I might be able to do something wild.
For sure. So he has to prepare himself to be out that hard, because that's what Hunter did the past 2 World Championships.
Mhm.
Buried everybody in the first
It's over.
3 runs and 3 stations, or not even the first.
2.
Like the push and pull. He doesn't even hammer that much. He doesn't have the best times on those. They're good, but he hammers that first run, hammers the ski, hammers that second run, and then it's just gone.
And then he's already fist pumping.
And his hands are because he can, and then he could just manage everything as fast as everybody else can when they're going all out racing.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's like, hey, if I need to ski a 136 to stay with him, I'm gonna try.
Is what Sandy's doing anything or any different than what you'd see from like Bekele or something on the road where you'll see he'll just randomly run a 201, but then DNF several times, and then like he'll come back and run a 204 and make the Olympic team. It's like when it works, it works. But we're so used to some DNFs at this point, you just don't know what you're gonna get from him. But
He races like an East African.
He
Yeah.
does. He does. The old Kempson model, Ryan Kempson model there.
I read an article on
eventually
that
started
one
working.
time.
Yeah.
And they were like unconcerned with it. They're like, the goal is to run the pace. And when I couldn't, the test was done. Which is like that makes a lot of sense. Like the goal is
really
to win or run the world record. And when that was gone, well, all right, I couldn't today, but I made it 11 miles at it, and I'm going to get right back to training.
right.
And from our Western mindset, it's giving up or quitting, and like they're not trying to be tough or impressive. They're like, I'm here to accomplish a mission. Mission went off course. I take what I learned. Boom. No skin off my teeth.
If you can have that mentality and have it not
That's the challenge.
like sit in your brain and like have there be this all or nothing all the time,
Mhm.
because like, I mean, Sandy could make the podium at Worlds. But
Yeah.
if he does this, he's going to get last.
If
you
we
know?
had done a prediction contest after doubles, he would have been on the podium.
Top 5.
Yeah.
So I don't know about his mindset. Like he has that East African mindset, but we've also seen him punch the wall ball stanchion. So I don't know where it sits, and I think that's
so I think he has a little bit of it, but I don't think it is exactly.
yeah. But
the
I
same.
think that's the allure. He's a wild card, and that
Wild
makes the
card.
sport exciting.
Does.
Real quick, just before we move on to the draft. So Sadiq Guy's got a Wikipedia page about his football days.
Nice. So legit. What team?
He was on the Libya national team, born in October 1994, and Manchester United. He was on the junior under 21 team for a couple of years, and then he was named to the senior 25-man squad in 2016 through 2017 Premier League. So
nasty.
Confirmed.
He's one of the best athletes to come into this, then most accomplished by that standard.
Yeah. Premier League soccer. That's an NBA player doing this.
NFL player, NBA player.
Did you know that? We
Matt
saw
Stankiewicz.
Alfred Morris in Dallas.
Yeah.
Running back for the Commanders.
Bet he did that sled push well.
And that this is funny. This is a funny story. Did I tell you guys about this? We saw
No.
Almo.
I
Do you
remember him.
Alfred Morris?
Oh yeah.
Redskins, right? Or sorry, Washington.
had him in
football.
Well, it was
fantasy.
the Redskins then, but now it would be the
yeah.
Commanders, the football team.
Yeah.
But Kent is a Commanders fan, right? And he recognized him. He's like, walked up to him. He's like, you Alfred Morris? And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah. And like Alfred had a buddy there. He's like, see, Alfred, people still know who you are.
Yeah.
At a HYROX event. It was great.
It's funny.
We've
So
also
Sid-
had what's his
Sadiq
name
and
from
Alfred
Spartan
Morris.
games? Why am I blanking?
Island Ninja?
Kurt Magid.
Linebacker. Yeah, Kurt.
Oh,
Tennessee.
yes.
Matt
Yeah, he's, like,
Stankiewicz
in it.
played in the NFL. Like,
Yeah, totally.
I don't think we're going to get too many like NBA players just due to height in endurance sports, but I could see NFL and like some strength oriented. Like, wasn't Carly Wopat? I know that it's not the same type of league, but wasn't she
That's
a pro volleyball player,
Yeah.
like national team level?
Yeah, true. Yeah, but Premier League soccer, it's like the most competitive sport in the
That's-
world and the best
Yep.
league in the world. It's pretty good.
One of the
Yeah.
most famous teams in that league.
Yeah,
You don't make that on accident.
Like playing for the Lakers.
for sure. Like, would Premier
Serious.
League be more competitive than NBA?
I mean, more people
I don't
play
know. You have a
soccer than
25-man
any
roster.
other.
There's a bigger roster.
Biggest pool to draw from. Yes.
It's probably more rare to maybe be in the NBA.
I think percentage wise, it's harder to
Has to
make
be. Yeah,
Premier
if-
League because every country.
percentage-wise, but
plays.
then there's a bunch of duds.
Yeah.
True.
who play
I don't know.
I think
Oh,
there's
I
just
bet,
there's a
the-
physicality component of the NBA that it's just
You have
It
to,
would just-
you have to hit the genetic lottery.
There's something like a 10% likelihood if you were born and you're 7 feet tall, you're going to make the NBA. So like a
yeah, I
lot
think
of
it's like
it's
10% or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was it's gone down like 200% in the last decade.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah.
With the 7-footers,
yeah.
Huh.
because now they got to be out there like Chet, balling, handling.
Anyway, I
shooting.
think we would probably say NF or NBA is harder to make, and I think people who say aluminium would probably say Premier League's harder to make.
Yeah.
And they're both sides are probably correct.
Get it
Yeah.
right.
So you've got 30 teams of 15 in the NBA. Not everybody plays every single time, but so you've got 450 people potentially in the NBA, and then Premier League, you've got 20 teams, and each squad can have up to 17 players, who are
Okay.
not considered homegrown players, and the remaining 25 must be homegrown. Okay, that's a little confusing, but
Okay.
but you've probably
it for
got a pretty
international-
25.
Yeah,
They do that for
International.
international basketball leagues, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like your
You
sister's
only
probably
get so
one
many
of
imports.
like X
Yep.
amount of Americans they can have.
yeah. So it's probably similar in terms of like total roster size, and more people play soccer.
More
I'm
people play
going
soccer. Yeah.
That's more elite, my opinion. Just making it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. He's legit. He's legit.
He's also on the
so-
roster for Anaheim.
on the roster for Anaheim. That's huge, but we'll talk about that. Let's get into this draft. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready, Jack?
Yeah,
What do you
that's
got?
relevant. Yeah, let me share the screen.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Definitely not yet.
I'm drafting him, so stay out.
All right, number 1 pick.
He's gonna be interesting, man, because
Did you just pop to 57? He's
In-
he's
in Doha, like so that was
Doha.
Doha. That was 1 week ago and literally across the world.
True, but I mean he's used to traveling.
Hold on, Jack. I got to share first.
I got it. Oh,
Oh my god.
it already said I'm sharing.
No, I'm stealing it
Jeez.
for
stop
good
sharing.
reason.
All right.
Bang. All right. Welcome to Race
Oh.
Brain Fantasy HYROX Draft Last Chance Qualifier in Anaheim. If you're unfamiliar, we draft teams. We're going to do 2 condensed drafts. Jacks, what are our numbers today?
We're doing 2 men, 2 women, 1 wild card for each draft,
Okay.
each race.
So we're just drafting 5. We're gonna go snake style, block card eligible for both of these. I think I have 2 block cards. I didn't use mine in the previous year, and they do roll
Yeah,
over.
that doesn't roll over.
They roll
Nice
over
try.
for sure.
Absolutely
And Jack, you got our what's the current standings?
not.
I think I'm winning.
Did Jack use his block card?
Well, everyone is 2-2. Bracken is actually winning. HYROX DC does not count because I wasn't there.
Oh no, that definitely counts.
I'm not taking Lauren's picks. No,
I took that win.
Yes.
Lauren was good.
for
She
you.
got first and second.
All right. Anyway, Bracken 87, me 90, Rich 101. We're all 2-2. Bracken is technically narrowly in the lead for now.
I just am.
Barely.
So the way that we do the scoring is dual meet style. So we have twice the amount of outcomes for each event. So it'd be me versus Jack, me versus Bracken. So that's 2 results there. Lowest score wins. We add up the total amount of the total place finish for each competitor. Lowest score wins, much like in cross country, which is just the way that we should do team stuff. Why can't we do team stuff like this in this sport?
Simple.
Why can't we just do cross country style? I don't understand. CrossFit too.
I have a
Do
more
some cross-country
pressing
stuff.
question. 5th tab from the right. Best what? What are you researching? Best what?
Where are we?
5th from the right in your tabs.
In my tabs. Up here?
It's next to the one that says training with the upper arrow. Above the
I'm not
star,
seeing it.
the bookmark on your tabs.
On my tabs.
Your tabs that you have up.
5th from the right.
Screen
1, 2,
sharing right
3,
now.
4, 5. This? Dish? I don't
Best
see.
blank.
Where? Am I pointing to it?
Oh.
It's brutal, man.
Tabs up here? I don't see what you're talking about. We're
You have
spinning.
Deka official
Deka
rulebook up
rulebook.
on our screens right now.
Go to that page. Go to that
I
window.
don't see it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, over here.
Okay. There we go.
5th from right.
Yeah.
Best something.
Above the star.
Oh
1,
my
2.
No, from the right.
This is brutal.
On the- Why must we do this?
Right
Oh, this
there.
is
Best digestive enzymes.
digestive enzyme. This is like a product that I was taking for a minute. They sent me some stuff, and I liked this. I was thinking about actually buying it.
All right.
Are we ready?
And you could have ruined Rich if that was not something you wanted to
Jeez.
share. Yeah.
All right. God. Wheel of names. Wheel of names. Wheel of names.
We got to see it. Can't see the wheel names.
We're still just
No.
looking at Deka rulebook this whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sharing the wrong screen. All right. Well,
Yeah,
what
look at this
happened is
amateur.
not gonna. I'm not gonna tell you what happened.
I mean, this is the most exciting part of the show.
That's
The
why you
real
said with
names.
good reason. I'm taking over and then I
Yeah.
stared at.
Oh,
Bang.
no.
Hey.
After
No,
all
with
that,
good
I didn't
reason
see it
indeed.
happen.
all
I'm
that
not
shit
believing
Bracken
it.
just gave me, I should have just redone that. Remove.
Hell no. Doesn't what? Bracken's
DK,
not
what are you
number
gonna?
one.
What are you gonna pick? What are you gonna do?
With such a small roster, I want to go middle.
Ah,
Rich.
I want to be the center of the Jack and Rich sandwich.
And we're doing HYROX first, right?
we're doing HYROX first. Give me the turn. 3.
All right. Should we do it later again? We're obviously gonna have a separate one for Big Bear. You can't just
Mm-mm.
get two
No,
yeah,
I'm comfortable
yeah,
with this.
Yeah. No. We didn't even see your spin, so I don't even know if I believe you.
I'm about
shouldn't have.
results. Journey
Over
doesn't
here.
matter.
Over here peeking at my tabs. Get out of my tabs, bruh.
Yeah.
You got to be careful sharing what you're sharing.
I know.
That's-
Jeez.
Yeah.
Did we? And okay, yeah, okay, great. Jackie did go through and kind of grab some of the other names.
Oh,
Harry
yeah.
Thompson's coming. Jeez, the men's field got stacked.
This
Men's
is who's
field
on the
got
list.
really
I
stacked.
I don't know if every single person is going to race. I went on Matt. Matt reached out. He posted like 10 names, and then there were other names like he didn't have Grayson on there. He didn't have Jack Russell and Jake.
Right, because
Gibbs.
the start list came out today. Luckily, usually it comes out on Wednesday, but
like an hour ago. Yeah.
yeah, so good thing. And then there's
Yeah.
some names that aren't on here. That like Anas was not on the list.
Correct.
I texted him. I haven't heard from him.
He's right. I talked to them like 2 weeks ago, and he's all in on this one.
Jess Petro's not
So-
on here either, right?
Should I add her?
I mean, I don't know.
It's classic Jack behavior.
I have not
He's gonna
talked to her.
Classic,
I don't know.
please.
I don't. I would. I don't know. I don't know. She's on a team. She's on the Australian team for the relay, so she's going to Worlds. Maybe
Okay.
she's just going to do age group, but she has a shot here. Like,
Mhm.
but I don't know. But she's not on the list.
Here,
What was that 2-1 thing you were talking about with drafting?
Hold on, I'm just gonna add Yanka real quick for you, Bracken. Because can't put her on the list usually.
Because you freaking try to take her every freaking time.
Yeah.
Not she's in white font out there. What,
Yeah.
2-for-1? 2-for-1?
You were explaining the rules of the draft, but I was looking at your tabs.
Yeah. But no, I'm not going to explain what I already said.
Yeah, we're
Just 3.
This is set. Normally we do 7. We're only doing 5 drafts. We're doing 2 men, 2 women, and 1 wild card.
I was just explaining
Gotcha.
why there's 2 results.
Gotcha. All right, let's roll.
The Jack thing. Okay.
This is
2 men, 2
really tough.
2 men, 2 women.
Yeah.
You are really lucky with that 3rd pick right there.
Are we scoring all 5 of these? I don't think we should score all 5 of these.
What should we score then?
Should we do 2 wild cards?
Should
we do 2 wild cards? Well,
yeah.
if like this 5's not enough.
Yeah, let's score 5 and we'll pick 7 people for this, and that way if we have some blow-ups, because that'll probably happen because everyone's going for the win realistically.
3 men, 3 women, and a wild card.
And then a wild card, and we'll score top 5.
You said 2, right? Am I bugging?
Well, you just
this is
announced
right
it.
Is there enough for
3-3 WC?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
3-3 wild card.
Okay. Yeah.
All
let's
right.
do it.
Number 1 pick.
Ooh, what you gonna do?
This is truly hard to do,
For sure.
I think I'm gonna have to go Colin Stiefer.
Ooh.
I like it.
Take him off the board.
I haven't looked at this at all. This is like this is like legit.
Nasty.
There are like 6 people. Oh, okay.
I mean,
So
Colin has basically been denied the chance. He was in the Elite 15 and he was in podium position to make Worlds, and then he
ran into a buzzsaw. Ran into a
buzzsaw. But he's like on this list. I would say he's come the closest to making it so far, and
he finished 5th in that race.
Yeah,
and he's run 58 mid, or I think he was outside of 58 at this race, but he had a 58 low in Chicago, and then we saw him again really put out in a race with other competition. So it's legit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2 spots are on the line for the men. We already have 13 selected. But actually, Florian Gast is injured, so he can't race at Worlds anymore. So I don't know.
Florian Gast?
Yeah.
He was on the list, but he's injured?
I thought, no, maybe he was going to show up, and now he can't anymore. That's why I took him off this.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that Rebecca Mason and Florian Gast just announced that they are injured currently. So that kind of sucks. I know Rebecca already has a spot, but anyway, back to Colin. Yeah, I think he's got the best chance if we're giving away 2 spots for the men from the US. Doesn't have that international travel, hasn't raced for a little while. He is going coast to coast because I think he lives Eastern Tennessee, but regardless, I like his odds. I think he's going to be one of the 2 who makes the Worlds.
It's a great pick. I think if you look on paper, there are 2 people who are more proven than every other person here in terms of doing it at a major, and that's Colin and Lucas. Mm-hmm. They were on either side of Rich for a lot of that race. Mm-hmm. And if Rich was on here, we'd be picking him, but he's already punched.
Woo!
So yeah, Colin and Lucas are the 2, and Colin has the bigger upside. He's done less races and
younger. Yeah.
He missed it on his strength leaving him. His wall ball has left him. That's not going to happen very many times. But I think he's the choice. So I'm swinging the opposite way. I'm taking Sadiq.
Oh, I thought you were going to take Lucas.
No, I at the end of the season, I don't pick an old dog.
Even though you've been
just been your boy
Lucas all year.
It's been your boy.
Yeah. You've got a shorter leash when you're old. You only got so many in you.
Yeah.
And Sadiq is hot, and he just did it on a course that reads fast until you look at what everyone else did. It wasn't really an outlier for other people.
No, not really. It was pretty fair.
We would have heard it from you.
The Middle East, HYROX Middle East has the wood ropes. So that's a little bit faster, but everything else, like I don't think they have the center kits, but everything's like pretty new. They run fast. The Dubai times have been fast, but this one didn't seem out of the ordinary to me.
It was the winning time on each side were fast, but what other people did was in line with what they've done. And so I'm taking at the end of the season, you take who comes in the playoffs hot, and he has the fastest time this year left on the board that I believe.
And if you look at what Meg did on the women's side, her time wasn't that unreasonable compared to
Yep.
what she's done before. So it's like if the men and the women are on that same course, you're assuming the weights are scaled properly. He's got the momentum. The only thing is he's got to take a transatlantic flight all the way,
Yep.
maybe trans-Pacific because it's on LA. He's going to be sitting on a plane a
He was
lot.
from there. Yeah, I don't know.
He is,
Yeah.
but he played a pro sport before this. He knows how to travel, and if he's got Premier League money, he's first class here. Like, he's going to travel as well as anyone does. I'm reading into far too many things, but you going with the hot hand. So Deke Alfatori.
I like it. I really like it. I mean, that's just the question mark is the travel and back-to-back races. He ran 57.44 with that penalty in Cologne. Of course, it was probably 2 minutes fast, but still say that's like a 59 flat on U.S. soil. That could be enough.
Yeah.
That could be enough in this race.
We're not racing for time. We're racing for place right here.
We're racing for
I'm
pink
just saying.
slips.
I'm just saying.
Pink slips.
Okay. Is it
Back
me?
to back. Rich in a very enviable spot right now.
I hear some bike tires creaking down the road coming towards us.
Oh, man. Is
Some
that
bass booming.
Everybody get out, tuck in your chain. I'm gonna take Lucas here. I am taking Lucas.
All right.
The international is tough, just in general. Like, this is just like a hard. I looked it up as 13-hour flight from Frankfurt, direct. It's a lot,
We've done that basically, Rich. I don't know how you felt.
and it
like,
sucks. It sucks.
Yeah,
Coming east to west, easier.
I think it's
Time-wise,
always
it
easy
could
going
be.
east to west.
But that's when I get sick.
You do?
Yeah, coming
You have
home,
a
I
weak
get
immune
sick.
system.
Oh, coming home, but that's after you've done a big long
Yeah.
trip already.
The other thing is it's like 6 p.m., right? That this race is going to be at approximately West
Yeah.
Coast time. That's
Yes.
a big difference from what you used to.
Yeah, good call on that one, Jack. The men are going to be at 5:10, I think, and the women are actually later. I think they're at like 6:20.
So
Um,
I saw a post. She's on the list, Stephanie Hillman. She was
Yep.
like, "Why the heck did they not announce the times earlier?" Because she bought a flight assuming that it was going to be, an earlier part of the day.
Cologne, it
you
was
sh-
earlier.
You shouldn't have to wait until the week of because you're booking hotels. Now you need to stay for an extra day. Like what happens? You have to check out at 11 and you're just chilling for 7 hours at the venue until your race goes. Now you have to book an extra flight later on. I think HYROX is really screwing up. They know when they can host their different heats and stuff. They should announce this well in advance because people have travel itineraries that they need to make. I don't like that they wait until 3-4 days before the event to announce when your heat is. I think that's a big issue, and I'm glad Stephanie mentioned it.
It's trash. It's like as much trash as the change in the rules.
This is not a sport that everyone is making 6 figures or 7 figures and is going to have their flight come in a week in advance and you're going to be around. We can announce week of. That doesn't work this way. People are balancing careers and they're crossing time zones and they need to know when they should get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move my flight because we have like an 8:10 or something like that. Can you guys hear this dog?
A little bit, yeah.
Not too bad. We're watching the dog, and he gets super sad when he comes over. He just howls like a little baby.
Probably
all right,
depressed about your draft, but anyway.
I'm torn here. I'm torn several ways.
You make my job easier.
Oh yeah.
Potentially, yeah. We have to go Camilla here.
Smart
That's
pick.
who I was taking.
I'm gonna go yell at this dog. Well, Camilla's had a lot of big race experience this year. I mean, she's set up. She's so bought into HYROX. It's just about execution at this point. The women's race is gonna be interesting, man. Like there's with 4 spots available.
Mhm.
How this is gonna play out, like I would imagine most racers are gonna be conservative, but who knows? But in terms of like home run hitters, Camilla's one of the top 2 or 3 on here. So she has a really good shot to make it through and win this thing.
And let's not forget, this is just like the last time that we had a major where you don't have Lauren, you don't have Meg, you don't have Linda Meyer setting the pace. and or last chance qualifier. Sorry, that's what we saw, and it completely changed how athletes approached it last time in Germany. So I think that we're going to see the exact same situation where people who are not used to leading a high stakes HYROX are going to find themselves at the front, and we're just going to see what happens. But we've seen Camilla, she asserted herself right at the front. Deka mile, Deka strong. Like she's used to being up there. She's been aggressive even when she broke her finger in Chicago. At that, she is not afraid to assert herself. And I think that having those typical top women out, she's not going to get nervous while others might in that situation.
Yeah. Well, that's who I was going to pick. So I agree with the pick on all fronts.
I almost picked her
had
number
time
one
to
overall.
prep.
Yeah, she could have been, if you were taking her first overall,
yeah,
it would have been good. It would have been fine.
Yeah, it was
on the men's side,
Colin
like
or Camilla.
On the men's side, there was like a lot of names out here. But Camilla has high level experience here. BK, what you got?
Well, I'm going to continue my trend, boys. I'm swinging. I think Morgan Schultz is going to come in here and pop.
That was who I was between.
Yep.
That's who I was between.
Same.
Dang.
And she has the high end we talk about with Anas. You know, she's a 20800 runner, which is like a 40 miler for a man. She has that D1 running. She has an even better frame for the sport than he does. Like she's proven it in Deka. She's had all this time to extend out. She's had successful check-ins along the way. And now I think we're going to see her. She hasn't been able to use some of her skills in HYROX yet because she didn't have like the full arsenal all on display at the same time. I think she's going to get to if she's gets to the row in contact here, I think she moves ahead there. I think she just has a back end ability here and on the ergs that some of these women can't touch. And I'm just a fan of her in general. So Morgan's my pick and I'm riding with her.
I love it. I love it. Can't disagree with anything that you said there. What's interesting that I'm finding about HYROX with athletes that have like a middle distance background is that it's long. Like, even though their running ability is better than the field, it's still it's 58 minutes longer than what they're used to running, right? Than what they're prepared for at their highest end. So Morgan needs to work on that back end some, where we've seen in Deka, that's a distance that is manageable for that mid distance, but you can bump up. Right. And that's where she needs to be. We've seen her perform when the stakes were high at a world championship event. So she's not afraid to go out and compete. So yeah, if she takes this win, I would not be surprised.
I flash back to Deka, the way she looked running and so composed. And I just think if we see that version translated to HYROX, these women are in trouble.
She ran 550s for an 8K like a month ago.
Really?
Yeah. And that was just kind of like on a whim.
Good runner.
Yeah, she's like, and like you're right, like she has the physical tools, and like mentally she's strong right now. So
she can be a workhorse too when she's healthy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's won a world title, and I think she probably has the same odds as Camilla to win this, in my opinion.
You go 1-1?
Yeah. Ooh. Well, whatever you set Camilla's odds at, I'd set Morgan's at. But anyway, my turn. A little bit of a surprise, but maybe not after what we've seen all year. I think Isaac Sanderson is about to throw down.
Ooh. All right.
He's as race ready as anybody. And all he's done is win this year. Talked to them a little bit after NorCal. And this guy's he's ready for Maker Worlds and HYROX.
He's race ready at half the distance for sure. You know,
he's also race ready at 100 miles.
Yeah.
I mean, HYROX ain't that.
90 miles. Yeah.
Then HYROX, I don't know. It's a different beast for sure. But again, he has the tools. He can race really well. He's fast. He's strong. But just the difference of like being prepared for 30, being prepared for 60 I can tell you it's not the same. But we'll see.
Correct.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I like it. I think he can punch a ticket.
You know, Rich isn't wrong that they are very different events. Very. But athletes have a visual sometimes when they make that move to the next level. And we've watched him before and he looks different now. And that's hard to really put a number on what that means. Like, what does that equate to? I don't know, but he looks different when he moves. It is
Yeah.
everything he does looks crisp and clean and practiced. And it's hard to look that way during hybrid sports. So I would not be shocked. Do I think he's ready for a HYROX World Championship? I don't know,
Maybe.
but he keeps doing better. And so I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if he's top 2 here.
I think his PR is 63 something. He's only done one,
Yep.
which is a great debut. But you're right, BK. He looks the part. You know, he physically looks. He's running well. I don't know what he has for a 60-minute duration. That ain't a 100-miler. You know,
I just look at it where he got top 10 in strong mile and fit last year. He's got the top high end output. He's only done one of these races, but he is as raced as anybody this season so far. Yes, it's a shorter event, half the duration, Dekafit. But I think he's got to be as confident as anybody. And without having to, take on a Hunter, a Kent, a Dylan, some of the top names, Rich in the US, he might find himself in the front. And that's where's that thumbs up?
It's not buying it.
Nah, not that one. That was
when you want it to work.
Yeah,
you gotta put it funny.
Yeah, but I think that he'll find himself pretty close to the front, and that's where he sat all season so far. So I like his chances. I'm all in on Isaac.
I like it. Who else?
Sorry, Bracken. Marcus Wallace is off the board.
Oh,
gotta happen, right?
Were you gonna take him next weekend?
Seaford is first. He can't be too far behind.
No.
Yeah.
The depot.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, he does not have shingles right now. That's a big plus for being able to compete in a race. Yeah, just been so impressed with every time that we have seen him. He got third in Deka Mile. His high end is out there, and I think he was ready to pop a good race in Chicago.
Strong, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. And before he ended up getting hurt or sick for Chicago, I think he was really going to have a good race, and I'm sure there have been a couple of athletes who've just had a certain event on the calendar. Some people may have been like, all right, I got to do DC, and then I'm also going to do this one. I have a feeling that athletes like Colin and Marcus specifically, because he didn't get a race in the last major, this has been his all my eggs in one basket type of race, and I think that he's really going to impress a lot of people in Anaheim.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing we haven't seen him race since
we
Dallas,
haven't seen him. That's the thing.
I've seen him.
23.
Yeah. You sheepishly got your ram back, right?
BK was trying to avoid him, but he saw him.
Yeah.
Marcus saw Bracken.
Said, hey, get over here.
Yeah. Mama gave me that chain. But yeah, I love it. I mean, the thing with Marcus is just his high-end running ability. That's why he's had a hard time in Deka, but so has Colin. Colin has improved, but we saw him at Worlds. Like, just the running is too fast. And Marcus has worked on it, and now the running slows down, and he has the ability to work on these stations much higher than everybody else. And the 60-minute time frame is like in his ability.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
his Achilles heel is he hasn't raced.
That's the
thing. He just hasn't raced. But this is a race you can prep for once you've felt it a little bit, and once you've seen everyone else's, and now that the sleds are coming back down to earth, you can prep for these things. And the things he does well are the things people struggle with generally.
Yep. See who you're going to take, Bracken.
Well, this is team swing for it. And this man's going to swing for it. Anas.
Yeah, I can't believe he was still on the freaking board.
He has to go at some point. I think he's the opposite of Marcus, where we talk about its potential for both of them, but his comes from the other side. And we've seen him race enough that people keep waiting for that big, there it is.
He's like the Sandy. Oh, yeah. The thumbs up.
Yeah. Like we know it can be there, but we've seen it. We haven't seen it yet, but we've seen him enough that some of like the mystery about him's gone, but he's gonna one of these days. We know that.
I mean, it's not that he hasn't. He's run 58 something, 58 mid. And he has
his opportunity at a big meet.
He went to Stockholm.
Race.
He went to Stockholm. Hard turnaround. Again, California to Estocolm is a long way. And I think he only gave himself like a day. So that was, and I
Home
think
cooking matters. We've seen that.
and I think he cooked himself in that race,
Yeah.
taking the lead early, trying to press, using his strengths in this race. But that's something here. Like he will be aggressive, but there's a bunch of European style racers in this, a bunch of European based racers who are used to that high end up front, who will challenge. But his fitness, like he could have been the number one pick, I think. And he goes freaking 10th or wherever we're at.
Probably
And
lives
hometown people
less than an
consistently
hour.
do well, even more so than in OCR. I think they do well, and it's foolish to leave him any longer. I'm not helping Rich out. He's gonna have to make a choice.
That was a good pick. There's still dudes on those. There's still dudes on this list.
Yes, there are.
There are still dudes on this list. So that's why I'm taking Amy Bevilacqua.
Yeah.
She's holding it down for this nation's population that says we still can.
Amazing story. I mean, we've probably, if you know about of Amy Bevilacqua, you know that she's in her 50s, has 5 kids, and is still out here just kicking butt. One spot, or I think she ended up being 2 spots out in DC because her a tough wall ball station. But she can run, man. Like she looked the part. She was in 5th or 6th place that entire race with athletes like Meg Jacoby and Lauren Weeks in it.
She didn't just sneak up when people fell apart. She was there.
She was there. She was there. And she's been working on those wall balls. So I think that she's probably the fastest runner in this field.
Really?
I mean, Morgan probably would take her in an 8K based off of what she's just done, but she can really run.
Yeah.
And she has a big race experience in HYROX now, and I'm sure in triathlon before this. But she's gonna be there. It's gonna be fun. Give me that. Amy Bevilacqua from Connecticut. All right. Now what do we do?
Now it gets real interesting.
Now I might be playing for points.
But the thing is, this isn't your typical race. I think people are going to blow up just because they know so much is on the line. It's like, well, if I get 3rd or if I get 4th or if I get 17th, there's not really a difference because you didn't make it.
So there's 6 dudes off the board. I'm between 2. I think I'm going to play for points. Someone who is not capable of blowing up is Geoffrey Voisin.
Yeah.
He cannot run. He cannot run fast enough to blow himself up, and he knows that. So he's probably going to finish on the podium.
Yeah.
He was
wall
second.
Balls, you do not want him near you at the end.
Where everyone else is, like, he came in the wall balls at Cologne, in 9th and finished 2nd or something like that.
Yeah.
Went unbroken. Like, he knows where his limits are. And even when the stakes are high, like, only one person went through in Cologne. And he knew he couldn't put himself in that first pack because he knows he can't race well there. I would envision him doing the exact same thing. He might be in 7th this entire race, but finish in 3rd or 4th.
I cannot believe there are 3 people who have never even run an Elite 15 race of any sort or major that went off before him. But it speaks to what you're saying, right? Ceiling, I'm not sure. Floor, really good.
High, very high. So,
yes.
And he has big race experience. Again, I'm a little bit too heavy on international dudes right now with Lucas and Joffrey because who the heck knows? But it's a lot of international people in this race.
Good pick. He's the most trustworthy person here, in my opinion.
I'm going opposite of you, BK. I'm going aged stars. You're going young, you're going youth, not me.
Yeah, you're definitely doing the bracket method.
Old dogs. Not
I'm
afraid.
I'm going crazy here then. I'm going both. An aged young dog. Eric Williams.
Nice. Yeah. That's where I was thinking. I was hoping he would slip through.
Yeah. He wouldn't get another round. This is a sub 60 guy who's also young at heart and only getting better. And he seems to be, now I don't know Eric personally, but just from what I've seen of him, I like him. And he seems to be the type of person that's just going to take care of business. Can he win the race? I don't know, but I don't think he's going to blow up.
I don't think so
I
either.
think he's going to
No.
run sub 60 and be somewhat in the mix and hopefully be closing.
He's a bit of a dark horse here. Like he could take one of these spots. One
Yeah.
of these two spots, it could be his. Like he continues to improve. He was third in that super stacked Go Ruck heat in DC, and I
Yep.
think he was
behind
he was
Dylan and
behind Dylan
Jarrett.
and
Or
the
Jarrett.
greatest that there will ever be. No one
Yeah.
will ever be better than
No.
Jared Newby. But you're right, VK. Like yes, 40 plus, but I think he's run 2 or 3 full HYROX. Got the guidance of Megiddo. Pro or
He's
con,
always in
who
like
knows?
heat 3 for some stupid reason.
That's a great pick.
Not New York, he wasn't, or is that DC? New York?
One of them, probably New
Either
York.
way.
DC, he did the
Oh,
run.
where it was split,
Yeah,
where it was like him versus Riker,
Mm-hmm.
and then Pelayo was versus Jared in the other
Mhm.
heat. Yeah, that was stupid. Nice job,
Yeah.
HYROX.
yeah. Eric, I was so impressed with him at Deca Worlds in Dallas. We know he's got the 60-minute endurance, like you talked about, Rich, that you're scared about for Isaac and some other people. But yeah, Eric is a very impressive physical athlete. All right, my picks. Oh, this is tough. All right, time to go international. Maria Feshik.
Canadian
Oh yeah,
international.
international. She's got to go through a border crossing. Yeah, yeah. She's kind of just been right on the fringe at a lot of these races. Did she do how many Elite 15s did she do earlier this year? She did one of them, right?
At least one. She was definitely DC.
Yeah, I know that one for sure.
Maybe Estacom. Let me look it up.
Esticle. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Maria, she went like 65 low, like 65-11, something like that earlier this year. And to not be in the Elite 15 with a 65 low, especially when you're having some of the top athletes like Lauren and Magnon in there to change the pace, I think her experience and her previous PR is going to pull her to a fast time.
I love the pick. I think it's a great pick. I think one of these spots could absolutely be hers of the 4 that are going to
Or
qualify.
available.
Yeah,
Yep.
like she's put herself in position all season to be competitive, and she's just going to continue to improve.
Yep.
This is lots of value at this
Good
point.
value. Yeah. Because Camilla's got a 65.04 this year, and she was the first woman taken, and Maria has a 65.11. Granted, not all courses are the same and stuff, but still, it's PR the PR. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, she was 11th in DC in front of Chris, in front of Alondra, right behind
Mhm.
Alina. Camilla was 2 spots in front of her, and then Amy was a spot in front of her. So yeah, this is, I mean, like this is where she should go. And of
Yeah.
the people that are left to qualify, like she's there.
If we've got 4 spots, she could very easily be number
Oh, yeah.
4.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I've got back-to-back picks. Oof. Now, how sure are you that Jess Petra is going? Because I added her after.
Not
you
sure at
mentioned
all.
her. Not sure.
Not sure at all. Like I would have assumed, because she's on that she's on that relay for Australia, so she's going to be in Manchester. So maybe she's just like, I'm going to do age group, and that's that. Maybe she can't.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a conflict here. I don't know. I don't know her personally, so I have
That's
no
the
insight.
only thing that makes me a little nervous, like that she isn't necessarily there.
That's why I would
un-
not take her. She's not signed up right now.
Unconfirmed. Yeah, exactly. That changes things for sure. Let's go Petra Arvela.
All right.
She was one of the best Europeans in OCR, Spartan specifically, for several years. I know she kind of switched over to HYROX within the past year or so. Didn't she have a podium very recently? Maybe even a win within like the past month or so?
Not sure.
Okay. I don't know. I just name recognition. I know she's traveling overseas. I wish I knew some of her HYROX times, but she has been one of like the best racers in Europe for OCR for several years, and we've seen a lot of successful transitions from OCR to hybrid through the years. So hopefully she'll do well. I'm gonna look up her splits.
She was clutching for my team in Alula.
Yeah, that's where
If
I
that matters.
saw her recently. Yeah,
Oh, Jessica Villia is on this list too. Do you have her on here? I don't know.
I have her right there. Yep.
Oh yes.
Yep. Taking a risk. We'll see what happens.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still swinging. Sydney Wells.
Oh,
Goodness. Wowza.
I got asked the other day, who are the toughest athletes? Like at just dealing with pain. And I had a few responses, and one of them was, like it or love it, CrossFitters.
For sure.
They can just deal with pain.
High output.
And the fact that she's coming back, I like it. She didn't have to come back and do this, but she's choosing to. And I just hope that that means she's training for it a little bit, specifically. And we don't know that, right? Unless people have inside information. How much time will she put into this?
Well, the thing is that she had
2 weeks she's put into it.
right. Like there's
She's got
definitely
the background.
an amount. I mean, she's a 400 runner.
Yeah.
But she's a solid one.
No,
She's
I'm
in
SEC
talking
school.
like CrossFit, and like she's got
Is Missouri SEC now?
They are now. Yep.
she got a background in engine and power and movement. And 2 weeks, if you just pour into it, can be enough for a stud.
And she was most likely training. So the story of Sydney Wells, she got hit with a one of those ridiculous penalties that we mentioned on the show a couple weeks ago, and it basically knocked her out of competition for the remainder of the CrossFit season. So the following week would have, or maybe it's this week, one of these weeks would have been her semifinals competition. And a lot of times at semifinals, and this year is no exception, there will be an event that will have 3 to 5K of running in over the course of a 30-minute event or something like that. So she's probably preparing a little bit for these longer time domains, and she was a games athlete last year, so she's probably touching up on game stuff, and there can be up to 60-minute events at the games. But
5K.
5K.
It's early to take her. I just thought
5K
Rich is going to
yards.
snag her because he loves taking CrossFit athletes.
I would have loved to take her. But
And
that's,
I don't believe in draft value. I think whether you get taken first or 8th, you're on the team. I don't care. So if I can get her, I'm taking her.
So you're your best available player,
Always.
right? Regardless of positional need.
Or just getting them. It doesn't have to be best available. If they're not going to be available later.
I'm saying if you were doing draft strategy, you're not like, oh, we're weak on receiver, but like a once in a generation running back came up. We got to take him instead.
I'm not dialed into either one. I just think that if you got taken early, but you needed the person, take them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fair enough.
I like it.
Yep.
I mean,
Boomer bust.
love to
Boomer
see
bust.
it.
That's team boomer
Love to
bust.
see it. Love to see it. I mean, like, she has the ability to run well, which is something that a lot of CrossFitters don't have, just like mechanically. She went 55 in a 400 at any point in your life.
It's faster than all of us right now.
Oh, yeah.
Fastest male in HYROX if she transitioned instantly.
No doubt. No doubt.
I think
So I'm
a
very excited. I'm very excited to see what she's got out there. It's going to be fun.
Jack, I'm going to say this. This may be controversial to the runners. Anas is not the fastest runner in HYROX in a 400 right now.
Oh, I thought you said like he's the fastest runner PR wise. Like,
No.
that's what I-
Well, yeah,
oh.
duh.
Who would be the
currently
who's the
right
fastest?
now? No, you already called out Rich.
Well,
I bet
definitely
there,
not.
I bet
Definitely
there are
not
several
that.
people in the sport of HYROX that could all beat Anas in a 400 because Anas has changed his body so much.
Yeah.
I bet he could still rip like a 55.
Probably, but that's not.
Oh,
Gonna,
yeah.
That's not going to be enough. He might even run
We doing this
56. If
again?
he's not doing speed work, he might not break 56 right now.
We're doing this again?
Rich is
He's
like,
like
we're
60
done.
pounds over his
Rich,
racing weight.
name 2 athletes. Let's go.
Who
Jared
would go
Newby.
faster than 55?
Jared Newby.
You
He's
think?
with or without a weight vest.
Jared was 150 flat,
with the weight vest,
and he's changed his
Sub 55.
weight less.
he's like, Jared's like 200 pounds, man. He's like a big
I
guy.
bet he raced
big
at
boy.
170 in college.
Probably.
He was like maybe 175, 180.
Jared be close. Riker's right around 55.
Riker
yeah.
would break that.
Does he count though?
I don't count until after Chicago and I run an open, because by statute of limitations, I'm dead in this sport.
100% Rylan is running a sub 55.
100%? Definitely not.
I don't
If you
know.
give me-
I'm not going to give it 100%.
I will.
100%?
100%.
He's never done that, I bet.
Sub 56 is very fast for people who aren't doing speed work.
I know that. Yeah, I ran track. I know what
You forget.
speed is
You always forget, Jack. You're like, oh, that's a shitty
all
time for a
good.
high schooler. It's like, yeah, a high schooler spending a lot of time doing that. And
in spikes. I know. Anyway, people are probably so sick of this. So let's name 2 people
This
rich
is what they're here for.
back to back.
I bet Sadiq, and I bet, let me see, and my next pick. I don't think I want to take him. Give me Harry Thompson. Harry Thompson would not break 55, but
no,
he will.
But he's run majors. He needs to be out here.
He's run some majors. He was in second at the last chance qualifier at wall balls, and then just like maybe he fell apart. Maybe he knew there was no reason to go to that point at that place, you know, because he was in second. He wasn't going to qualify, right?
Yeah.
I think he finished I think he finished in like 6th or 7th, but he was in second. He will be in 1st or 2nd after the sled push, for show. And he's done an international travel trip. Doesn't mean it's going to go well the next time. At least he knows like a little bit of how it's going to feel. Yeah. So I like that. I like that pick. Good job, me.
Big fan of that pick was him.
Big fan of me today. And then I'm gonna go Laura Rentala.
Yeah, good pick.
She hasn't raced bad in the time I've known her.
When does she? Yeah.
She didn't have a
Very
great race in
consistent.
Dallas. That was like kind of her first race back out at it. She ran really well in Houston. She finished 2nd behind Christy Arama, who's unfortunately not racing here. But I mean, she has a lot of experience. She lives it, proving her running's improved, and you know she has an absolute shot to take one of these positions if she runs her race. With these names that are left on here, like I think that like she's right in this mix. She's right in this mix.
She is. And if she's improved at all, which I assume she has, she and Mark just seem to live it.
Oh yeah.
She's going to be up there.
Oh yeah. BK, female.
Katie Duke.
Yeah, good one.
I don't know. I don't know how she would go without getting drafted. She is consistent. She is improving. She's been close-ish. I don't see why she can't go top 4.
What's her HYROX? Has she done many HYROX?
I don't know if she has.
She may not. I don't know what her HYROX is.
She did a HYROX.
Grayson's making his debut, and they usually travel together.
I thought I saw
I do
her.
not see a time for her.
Well, then let me undo that.
Nope.
Too
I mean,
bad.
it's still a good pick.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
She's
her
a
running.
monster. Whether she's done it or not, she's a monster.
She's a tremendous athlete. You know, in these like, in terms of her frame, she's not going to be one of the bigger athletes out here. But with these sleds being newer, easier to push, shouldn't be as much of a barrier. She's all in on the hybrid stuff. Has done really well in Deka the past several years. So.
She had the misfortune
Past
of
year.
being in the same race as Lauren Weeks, Vivian Tafuto, and Lauren Griffith, and missing the podium at when Lauren Weeks set the world record for Dekafit recently. So she's race ready, definitely fit. But what's her? Do you have her leaderboard time, Rich?
I can pull it up.
She had to have been 34 at worst.
What you got, Jack? Who you drafting?
All right, I'm taking a different Katie. Going Katie Simonson.
Nice.
She raced in Cologne, went 67:30, and she has done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight races where she's 69:30 to 67.5. So that's kind of her range at this point. You know, a lot of she's consistent. That's what I'll go to, and 67 is still a pretty solid time.
She's very good. Like, I mean, this is good value for where you're taking her at. And she's done a bunch of like international trips. So she's raced a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, Rotterdam, Cologne, Copenhagen. She raced in LA last year in December. Dallas, Chicago, Manchester. Yeah, she's traveled quite a bit.
Jack just picked all his men and then all his women.
I did.
Keep it simple.
Absolutely.
Rarely can that ever work out, and here it could.
Yeah,
It won't, but it could.
There's
It ain't
so
gonna.
much variability. This race, it's hit or miss. I feel confident that my guys are going to place well, but they could easily have all of your guys just, split the order. All right.
Wild card.
Now I've got a wild card. I guess this is the purpose of doing a wild card.
You taking KBB version of this?
Ooh.
No,
Will
no,
she be there even?
I think I'm gonna go Jake Williamson
Ah,
because he's been living with Hunter for like the past month.
we haven't seen
So
that work out.
I don't know, but
This-
I mean, Cole Schwartz did for a while, and he made Elite 15 one time. Like I back in the day. But bottom line, like he's not gonna have to travel far. Hunter's definitely giving him some tips. Like he's not going to get less fit. He might get burnt out a little bit because you might
Probably
not be
giving him
able
the wrong tips. He doesn't want to see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a wild card. That's why I'm
It's-
going with it.
I think he could break 55 in a 400.
Okay.
Footballer.
Yeah.
I almost took him instead of Harry. That's what I was going to take.
Okay.
I
Sweet.
like this pick. I like this pick
Good pick.
because he's not going to have to deal with the time change.
Yeah.
The
Already
way that
adapted
others
to it.
would.
Yep. Can drive to the venue. Bracken, who you
Jonathan
got?
Wynn is begging to be picked.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Jess Petro. Team swing is swinging.
I mean, that's a good pick. If Jess Petro shows up, I mean, like,
Yeah.
This
she
is
could
what
win.
wild cards are for.
She should. Yeah.
She could absolutely win.
Yeah. She's KBB. She shows up, she wins, but we just don't know if she's ever going to show up here.
Then I'll take Jonathan Wynn here.
All right.
Probably lasted way too long.
For sure.
White font, but then
Yeah, no, I don't know why that
that's
is.
that's the old Jack trick. No,
You know,
it's on here.
Petra.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, he finished 7th at the world, 6th at the world last year. Has raced the 3 of the 4 Elite 15, and last chance qual. His kind of faded toward the back half of the season, but his high end is there if he's good and healthy and can handle the flight.
Yeah.
But
It is the back half fade that has them being faded on our odds here, right? These are hard events to hold on for if your fitness goes south.
But I would take him to finish higher than, what did he go, 11th?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would, like, if someone asks, like,
Oh,
will
yeah.
he finish better than 11th? I would say yes.
My guess is he's top 5.
If he
But
shows up, if he's, like, ready, yeah,
Yeah.
if he's, yeah, exactly. But, like, we just had, like, the past 2 or 3 races we've seen him, it's just been, he was, like, 12th, I think, in Cologne or something like that.
High ceiling, low floor type of situation.
I don't
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
his floor is
don't-
certainly no lower than anyone in the top
Yeah.
5 here.
It's true.
No. An athlete who did not get drafted, Yannick Chapla, who has the fastest time of anybody in this. His seed time is the fastest by like minutes. But he ran.
Just shows the
Chance.
bitterness of this panel.
Jack did the math for us. That was
3 minutes 58 seconds fast.
11%
that.
fast or something like that. But I mean, like, he's done an Elite 15 race. Definitely disrespectful. Yeah, probably just straight bitter spite, pettiness of not drafting him.
Probably
He could
hates
do-
our show.
He could do well. I'm glad he's showing up.
Yeah.
He's showing up.
Jack had the opportunity to draft a non-American with back-to-back consonants to start their name and didn't.
To
And
start their
that's-
name,
Their
J.A.
last name.
Oh, all right.
And that's all you need to know about what we think of the course he ran it on. So for his sake, I hope he comes out and blasts it and proves everything wrong that Jack's ever said about his scoring and timing
I
system.
mean, he's a young
Absolutely.
athlete. He could be like making this ascent that we didn't necessarily see coming. But
Mhm.
Honestly, I hope he crushed it. I would love to see just battles and prove and shut people up, but we've seen a lot of courses be inconsistent, and till further notice, it's hard to believe everything.
I'm speaking for everybody here. We like to confirm that these courses are messed up. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily say we want to see him crush it.
I hope he Dylan Scott's Jack Bauer at the finish line.
Hey,
Oh,
take that
man.
spreadsheet, put it somewhere,
Shove it up.
put it where you wipe, not your cheeks. Yeah,
you hear
Grayson
me?
Kilgore didn't get drafted. Jack Driscoll, who
Literally
362, I think.
Seconds ago, got a message from Grayson. He said, any advice on how to get bumped to the first pro heat at HYROX Anaheim? Katie and I are both starting 10 minutes behind the first wave. Not ideal.
Whoops.
Sucks.
That sucks.
Jake Gibbs.
He
lives in
listens to the
Hawaii
show. Do you
now.
guys have any advice? He'll listen to it and
Who?
maybe reach out.
To Grayson?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Stuck,
I got nothing.
You stuck with it?
I
Yeah.
got nothing.
Talk
Mark
to Eric
Howell-
Williams.
Mark Howell, we have not seen in a bit, but has like 61, 60 flat capability in him. I don't know what kind of fitness he's in, but I'm sure it's fine. Have we seen Samuel Hebert? Has he done a?
He's interesting, right?
Always
Very.
interesting.
Because he's going to look the part out there.
He's big. Has he done a HYROX?
Not
Not that I'm aware of.
That's concerning.
But I also thought Katie Duke did one, so I'm not the.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna
Katie
be
Duke's not in Heat 1. What does that mean for me?
I don't know.
nothing.
What does that mean scoring wise?
The results will be the
time-based.
same.
Yeah.
So that's okay for us?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We'll take out anybody who was racing like Vivian. Like she'll
I
get
didn't
taken
include
out.
her on the list. I didn't put Kent in
I know.
there. You know,
in the results though, we'll take them out.
Yep.
Good.
So if Kent or Vivian gets first, realistically, the second place person will get 1 point in our scoring.
If Hunter's racing.
Yeah.
Okay, we did it.
Cool.
If we get to
All
see
right.
Hunter versus Kent at the last California race before Worlds again, this is going to be delightful.
Over under 50%, or over under half a dropout total between the two of them.
Taking the over for show.
Over.
One of them's dropping out.
Yeah.
They don't want to reveal all their cars before Worlds.
What are the odds that the fastest male and female times come from other heats?
No.
Not terrible. They're not terrible odds.
What are the odds top 3 men come from a different heat?
Those odds are a little bit
Depends
harder
which
to
heat
follow.
Yannick's in.
I think realistically, this race is going to play out so differently, especially on the women's side, where you don't have a Lauren or a Meg or Linda to push the pace early on. And I think
what's her Jezebel's on this list?
she's not racing.
She's not?
No, I took her off.
She
She had
hurt or something?
no, she posted something. It had like a big red X over. Yeah, right here. It's HYROX Anaheim, and it has a big red X. And then she went into some explanation. She's absolutely not racing.
You took that as her not racing?
Yeah. I
Seems
interpreted it that
blurry
way.
to me.
Strange.
Yeah.
She said, blah, 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 waiting for news about the 24-25 season and blah, blah. She's going to do singles age group and mixed doubles with Joffrey for Team France at Worlds. So
Yeah, she might be on the relay too.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Looks like we need to do Wheel of Names one more time, and we'll get through this Big Bear
Do
draft.
we got
real
time?
quick.
How you guys doing on time?
I'm fine.
I am not great on time. We can fly through it.
Yeah.
What,
We'll go
what
quickly.
do you need? When do you need to be out of here?
25 minutes.
I was going to say we can get this done in 15.
Here we go. Spinning. Is it up? Or are you guys peeping tabs again?
Seeing.
Oh,
Bracken again.
And if you don't know,
goodness
now you
gracious.
know.
We're going OT here.
Where you
on Race
going, Bracken?
Brain. See the clap?
Give me 1.
Oh,
No,
come
I'll stay 2.
Oh,
I'll stay
yeah,
2. I'm
that's
staying
my
2.
You,
Goodness.
you got a little nervous once you saw my spot.
God.
No, I just thought about the limited depth of field. I don't want to go first and then fourth.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
You went second, BK?
Bracken 2, I guess I will go. I'll go 1.
All right. Same order.
Same order. We'll see different results. Who knows?
I'm gonna bust that ass again.
All right. I'll just make it undramatic. Hawk Call is the best racer here. He just went sub 66.5 marathon. He is going to win this race.
All right.
That's who you're going with.
Hawk Call.
That's what you're doing.
I locked it in.
We can't
Here's
draft
the
7 of
thing.
these people. We can't draft 7. Are we gonna go 2 and 2?
No. So I can't hide these because of.
Okay.
Well, I guess I could. But
2 and a wild card?
Yeah.
Okay.
He should win this race, but there are 1 or 2 people who could beat him. There's no one here that's beaten Andy Doobie.
I know. That's
So
why
give
if
me
I
your-
got that, I would have taken that first. I would have taken that Annie Doobie pick. Okay, just real
Hawk
quick.
should win. Annie will win.
Yes. We are in Big Bear And this is the National Series old school. So this is a super distance with starting at around 6,000 feet, I think, right? Topping out
Yep.
around
I think it
75.
I thought it was higher.
Jack?
Give me one.
I think it's more
showing
like
people in the wrong
8
gender.
at the start.
No.
I've got a course map.
No.
Let's go.
It's not that high, right, Jack? You were there last year. I think it starts around 6.
It's high up there. So I've got
8?
it's really high up there. Jason sent me the course map. HD also. Let's see.
You got an HD course map?
HD, yeah, you can actually see it.
What?
Wow. 3,074 feet of gain.
In a super?
6.6 miles. Base is probably 6,900. The highest they're going to reach is 7,800.
I was way off. What is going on here?
We're both off. I thought it was close. 6, I guess.
Almost 8,000.
Producers, take that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average 17.5% grade.
Sheesh. Okay.
It's getting up there.
What's going on? What's going on? What's with this copy paste? This seems like distractions that are happening on purpose.
I'm having to
I don't
hide
like
stuff.
this. It seems like this is like some unfair.
No. I have to hide 2 rows, and it's screwing it up because people are showing up twice. And it was saying Hawk's a woman because his name showed up twice because I set it to format it if he shows up.
Ponytail.
Yeah.
Got him.
Got him.
All right.
BK's
Anyway,
taking Annie,
Bracken,
baby.
you picked Annie?
Yeah,
I say that's a good pick.
because it's a mountain.
Do you see her Strava
Altitude?
post?
No.
Oh, well, you guys should have looked.
Stupid.
Yeah. It basically said like my knee feels bad or something like that.
Doesn't matter.
It's the only question ever with her.
Yeah, knee feels ouchy, and that was on 4 days ago.
Oh, well, ouchie's a pretty strong term, but I'm still rolling with her.
She's gonna murder this field.
I think she could go out and tempo this. We rarely say that about OCR. She could tempo this and win.
Super distance. 3,000 feet of gain.
6.6 miles.
Give me Rose Wetzel here.
That's the smart pick.
Safe bet.
And then Lean Mean Balin Bean.
Oh,
Yeah. Now I will. He messaged me this morning. He said he is planning on racing, but he has not got the final go ahead on getting off from work. But he already has his stay and everything. That's what he says. You can. I didn't type him in yet.
Your
giving
timing,
you that
like any
info.
great comedian, is impeccable.
No, I got this message while we're recording. All right.
Palm and face emoji.
No, whatever you want.
No, it's already in there.
No, it's not.
It's in the interwebs. We're
in the
live.
interweb.
Not on the interwebs. Rich,
We're live.
Do you want Balin Bean?
I want him. Give me him.
All right.
Because if he shows up, like, he could beat Hawk Call.
He won Big Bear, the Beast, last year by like 20 minutes.
And there was somebody who was
Yeah,
Veerman there? Or something? Wasn't it Veerman?
I don't remember who it was,
I think it was Veerman.
but it was like I'm like, wow, he won by 20 minutes over that guy. I don't think it was Tyler.
He can run trails.
Yes, he can.
I think
He's
it was
performed
Tyler.
at altitude before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
He's mad at Jack, so
Balin Bean.
having him on my team is appropriate. I believe in you. I believe in your body composition.
Yeah.
Jack, however,
No, you take that back. All right, Bracken, who you got?
Oh, this kills me here because I want to take Sean Roberts because he's going to run off pure hate, and that's always powerful. But I don't want Jack to be able to pick Manuel Defoe.
Manu.
So, and I'm also confused because he was injured the end of the year and now he's traveling back again. And at the end of the day, I just believe in the power of anger. Give me Sean Roberts.
He lives in LA now.
Lives in
Oh,
LA.
he does?
Yeah.
Home cooking. Said he'd never be back to Spartan.
He's in
And
LA?
here he is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Like what kind of access does he have into mountains?
He's
Better than Boone?
he has run at Big Bear prior to this race.
The man
Check
was
out
an
the trails.
engineer at NASA. He's not going to just like flippantly prepare for something.
Nah. I remember
I
talking
don't know
with
if there's
him.
any science behind that.
He thinks he's arguably the best descender in OCR.
He hasn't seen the best descenders yet, but he is a good descender.
Yes. Yeah.
His ascending is not as strong as you would think.
There was that race Savage.
This field
I think
is
it was
also not as strong as
Savage.
you think.
Savage, Ohio.
Savage, Ohio, when he just bombed by Woods and a bunch of other people on a descent, and it was like, okay, this guy can move downhill.
I could definitely see him be bombing downhill. And with this field, like there's probably 2 climbs.
No.
Yeah.
Like 6.
It's 2. You could make
How
an
could there be
argument for
6?
3, but that second one is all
Blue.
gradual up.
That's 2.
Okay, you drop over 200 feet on each descent. That to me is okay. Fine. Two big ones and probably 4 that last
We're gonna peak
2
out.
to 8 minutes.
There's one that's like going to be like there's a dip.
Okay,
But you're probably like looping
down to the bottom, back.
You're
Yeah,
both
okay.
right.
Fair enough.
No,
All right. Bracken, thank you. I'm gonna take my guy from Switzerland, Manuel Defoe.
Fox. Is he? What's he got for super distance? We've seen him 3Ks do well. Mash.
Yeah, I mean he definitely leans more towards the 3K after what we saw last year. No, he's the reigning North American Elite Series champion. I can't leave him on the board at this point, but he definitely favors the under an hour. He can do the super beast is a little long for him historically in results, and this is probably going to be a 70-minute race or so given previous results. I think Atkins and VJ were like high 60s when they ended up winning when it was a super in the national series. So I think he can stretch to that distance.
Let's
see. All right. Who next? Let's go Casey Monroe.
Shoot.
I mean, she's finished 7th at Worlds before, and every time we see her on mountains, she's basically, I think she got 2nd at Jacksonville also. Easily the most recognizable name left in the race. So.
Whoa. You tell that to Faye Morgan, who I'm taking here.
Yeah.
Gotta take her. Again, Southern SoCal, so she should be short travel for her.
Absolutely, yeah.
A good pick on that Casey Monroe. I mean, that's a good pick.
Yeah, just reliable.
This women's field's actually like better than this is like a typical field in the past for the past 2 or 3 years.
You take out a pregnant Lindsay. Chris is hurt. She probably would have been there. Nicole's not racing, and then we haven't seen Emma for a couple of years. But yeah, it's like pretty. It's
not bad.
Pretty respectable, honestly, for the women's field.
What are we at? How many women? 4. I got shoot. I have no idea what I'm doing, fellas. Not a clue.
You're all hybrid now. You're checked out.
I don't even know who these people are. Just kidding. I know more than BK does.
Not a chance.
Give me Julie Bestier. Lives at altitude.
Yep.
So the terrain of Utah is probably more similar to Big Bear than most of these athletes who are coming from out of town will face.
Former podium finish at a national series. It was the 3K last year, Palm Beach, and
had her on the team. Had her on the squad.
Perform. Yeah, she does perform well at mountain races.
I think it was the first race that she was on the podium.
Yeah, Palm Beach.
Oh yeah. But then you said mountain races?
Yeah, like she's competed in Utah in the past, and I want to say she was in Big Bear previous to that. Like she can run on mountains for sure.
You've confused me. All right.
Prior to 2023.
Let's see. Where are we at? I want Jack Bauer on my team.
Woo! Feeling me.
Give me him.
I almost picked myself over Casey, but it would have been stupid to not pick her.
No. I mean, look at this. You can get top 5 in this race, dude.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then he's gonna move up the rankings ahead of Rich on the OCR ranking for Race Brain.
I'm sure that my that's true.
Very well.
Matt B. Davis to have that update.
Does that catapult is a top 5 in a national series catapult beyond a win at Michigan?
Probably not.
Listen, I am on my own Mount Rushmore. I'm immortalized there. You can't take me off of
There's
this.
Yeah.
4 bracken heads.
Yeah.
It's me without hair, me with hair, and me with receding hair.
Was the haircut in
Yeah,
high
all
school?
of
Was it just like close crop?
Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Curly.
Dang.
What?
Typical high school cross country runner look.
No, because I was a stud.
Is the man.
That's why Lisa found you not too long after. Yeah, I think it's a good pick, Rich. You know what I did. I did the incline a couple days ago, or yeah, Saturday, whatever it was. I have not been running hills. I will be completely transparent about that. It's been all in on Deka, but I still ran in the 26s on the incline, so not terrible given no hills. My PR is in the 24s, so like I'm
lives
still
at
quite
altitude.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But my downhill, I ran my 3rd fastest descent down bar trail ever. So I've still got those downhill legs, and I think that that's going to play a lot more into this race than the uphill personally, because a
You
lot
have
of people
2
are scared.
downhill legs in you, though.
I've got double
2, not
downhills.
6.
Let's go. Yeah.
That's the question. This is the kind of race with the field that's here. Usually, to have a chance at top 5 here, you need to be in shape. You need to live at the altitude, and you need to be ready for the terrain. With this kind of race, 2 out of 3 will get you there.
Yeah.
And you're in shape and you live at altitude. You may not be ready for the terrain, but 2 out of 3 is enough to put you in the mix.
I've raced the Big Bear Super as a racer. I did the Big Bear 3K last year, and I rabbited the Big Bear Super for the National Series one. So I've been here. I know this terrain. I like this mountain. That's the reason I picked this one that I was going to do earlier in the season when I set things up for my schedule. And we'll see how it goes. But yeah, feeling good.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel even better about Ethan Brown.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan might
better.
end up winning the National Series points. He basically, I think if Hawk wins, he'll get 23 points. And then if Hawk does Utah, let's assume he's got 46. Ethan has 19 points from Jacksonville, getting 3rd right there in the opener for the National Series. So he needs to get 27 more points the rest of the season. So basically average 7th place here in Jacksonville, and he'll win the National Series point series.
Who won at Palm Beach? LT?
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor.
So you're looking at the best obstacle racer in North America, according to the series, and that's a steal.
Yeah, I was thinking him.
I mean,
thinking him.
he had like over 20 podiums last year. I did the incline with him, or not the incline, the Burj Khalifa with him a couple months ago.
Carried him to the top.
He almost didn't make it, but Ethan actually does have climbing legs.
Where'd you
That
live?
very
did
often.
not seem like a compliment that Jack just gave you, Ethan.
That's
No.
a good. I like that.
You just
backhand
said- you
compliment.
just said-
as a competitor,
said
he's like, I busted
carried
his
him.
ass,
I did it with him.
on
I
the
carried
Burj
him. He almost
Khalifa.
didn't make it, but he's actually pretty good.
but he's not as
No.
good as me. That's why you went for it before him.
Ethan almost took down Kirk to win when Kirk was thrown down sub 15 times roughly last year, right? SoCal?
There was no point in time where he was sub 15 times.
Close.
I don't know what almost beating someone looks like in OCR.
All right. Ethan, I think it's a fantastic pick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jack
I was going
walking
to take
it
him right
back.
here if you didn't.
Who you got?
All right. I need a woman. Let's go Chloe Melikian. She has like a dozen podiums in the past year.
What's her name?
Chloe Melikian.
That's
I
not
thought I
that.
heard you pronounce it wrong, but
That
you
works for me.
Probably
Do you know how
yeah.
to pronounce it?
I thought it was Melikian.
Melikian. All right. There you go. It's one of those.
But
wouldn't.
we're going to find out because someone's going to let us know.
I got no
Absolutely,
idea.
yeah.
I
No,
got no idea.
she's always like she probably had 10 podiums last year, roughly. In my opinion, probably the best left in the field. And let's go for the wild card. Sam Osborne. He got like 8th
Nice.
place at OCR Worlds in the 15K, lives at elevation. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to have a good race.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought you were going to go international, and so I'm going to Reina Melendez. Mexico,
she?
stand up.
Is she?
Well, now that you respond like that, you have me second guessing things.
I mean, you sounded pretty confident.
Now I have
Just-
to look it up.
I'm looking it up. So,
I'm going.
yeah.
I'm taking Vivian Tran to close it out.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was 9th, I believe, in Palm Beaches with like 2 failed obstacles. So coming across this, it's going to be She'll be right at where she's drafted or beyond. Puts in
I
a
may
ton
be
of work.
wrong.
She got a
and
win
ready to
earlier
rock.
this year.
Um,
Houston, right?
Yeah, she did win with Texas, and she just won a Savage race
Yeah.
as well. So she's out there. She's obstacle proficient. Did
There's a
dry
pretty nasty gauntlet at the end, like 9 or 10 obstacles in the final K. So
obstacles
it's-
though.
yeah,
you know,
maybe
dry obstacle. If she got through a freaking Savage,
she's gonna be fine.
you can do dry obstacles at Big Bear.
Yeah, yeah. You got
Laser-
monkey
laser-
bars, helix, rope
pistoling?
climb, Herc hoist, spear throw, rolling mud, dunk wall, slip wall, bucket carry. So
Spear throw at the end.
Yeah.
Are no pistols.
no pistols that I'm aware of.
All right.
Yep. Anyway, we'll see
But
how
I'm
this
not
goes.
watching.
We barely got to talk about OCR, but hopefully it'll be an entertaining one to watch, and we'll have more things to say in a week or two.
So these are both on Sunday. Hyper Fitness Media is going to do some sort of like stream watch along. Matt's going to be on site over there. Make sure you're following along to stay up to date on real time because he'll have some updates for you. OCR report will be in Big Bear, I believe. VJ is going to be on the microphone. BK said,
Heck
no
yeah.
thanks. Said,
Had to
not me,
bail.
not today.
Braden's racing takes precedent.
I'm carting,
yeah.
bruh. Which we knew already.
I didn't.
So-
I had to have Jason reach out to me last week and say, "Hey, are you still good?" And I said, "Oops, nope,
Sure
I'm
ain't.
sorry,
Yeah.
Not a
Nah,
chance.
pretty unprofessional of me."
Yeah, if anybody they're looking for a couple more rabbits, even if you can do like a stationary role. If you're gonna be there, reach out to Jason Dupree, OCR
Yes.
report, just so we have more cameras on it and we'll see what happens. Hot Call was like, yeah, put a camera on me. I'll go running around. I'll give you some action, but I don't think that's gonna work for the live stream.
Probably wouldn't be great. Be like
No.
one of those all obstacles
Watching a GoPro
things
video,
on
basically.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fam. We did
Cool.
it. Double draft day. Went long. Extra credit. A lot of stuff to talk about. We'll make sure we are recapping this next week. Lots to talk about. A lot of people asking us to recap these things, so we're gonna. And anything else?
That's it.
That's it, and that's all. Nice job, fellas. Talk to you soon.